Here we go. Here we go, boys. Go! Morning Azeroth!
Alright, guys. Scuffed intro. We're back, though. We're here. We made it.
Welcome
Welcome
back. Say
back.
before we start,
Yes.
notice that Kargoz is in a sport jacket with a nice pin and a black sweater or whatever you want to call that. It looks very professional.
He does look professional.
Why, thank you.
So despite the scuffed introduction, you're making up for it with your dress and attire.
Okay, I'm glad, dude. Thank you for noticing, man. Yeah, I had to do a little meeting this morning, so I had to, get the hair buzzed and everything like that. Welcome back, guys. Episode 12. 12 weeks of the shenanigans with the boys. It is always a treat, man. Thank you. We thank you for hanging out with us today.
12 weeks. Wow.
Yes,
So
yes,
we have
yes.
had a news post every week now. I hope
That's right.
For what, the past 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That really is. So why don't we talk about the newest news post that we just got, the Alterac Valley news post.
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe we could bring that up. I don't know if Kargoz, if you can bring that up or not. Maybe.
Yeah,
in the
let's bring it up.
background, Or, okay.
Oh, you want to bring up the dude? I don't even want to touch it right now.
All right,
I'm
let's
so
not touch it.
I'm
Just
so
read it.
done
Just
right
read it.
now.
I'll read it out. Let me.
God, guys,
Give me a second.
you know you have like a green thumb with gardening, like you touch like a little daffodil and it springs up into like a fruit tree. Like, I think if there was like a black thumb for streaming, I have it, dude. I touch one thing on OBS, everything breaks around me, and it's a disaster. Like, I am like the worst streamer, guys. Like, I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's just YouTube. YouTube is not the greatest platform for streaming, honestly.
No, it's not. It's not. So, all right, let's get started. So, the news, if you haven't heard us, guys, is that we're not getting the original AV. We're getting something kind of in the middle-ish. But so essentially, Defcamp knows a lot more about this than I do, and so is Dunedain. I am not an AV fan at all, so maybe you guys can clarify.
You're not
this,
an AV fan.
No,
He's
not at all.
not. He hates
100%
AV.
not.
Okay, I actually have a little spiel then to help try and get Melderon on board with the AV. To like
I
AV.
tried.
All right, before you start,
Yeah, let's do the news. We're doing the news.
outside of getting this, why would you go in there?
Because
Okay.
it's something different.
Okay.
It's
The best place to farm on, or
Well, okay, let me just say conceptually, guys, the idea of AV is awesome, and let me break it down for you why. Because in Warsong and AB, it's a battleground, awesome, timeless battlegrounds, don't get me wrong, but you can kind of see the fog of war off in the distance. Like, you can see it way off in the distance. It doesn't feel like an actual war. Out of all the PvP games I think I've ever played, maybe like Star Wars Battlefront was kind of like that a little bit too, but AV really gives you that feel of a war. Like, there's PvE blended with PvP. There's NPCs that you're killing. You have NPCs on your team. You have to like buff your NPCs. You have to unlock world bosses. And if you die and the death ball is up north and you're down south, you're not making it back up, fam. Like, you have to pivot and go defense or do recap or something like that. And it is like, it's very like flavorful. And it's PvE, PvP blend, and also, I think it might have been Defcamp or Melderon who was telling me about the lore with Drekthar and Stormpike.
That was me. I love the lore. The lore is so cool, isn't it? And, the whole thing with Drekthar, Stormpike, and I also love the tunnel points that you get. Like, in no other battleground do you get these epic, the tunnel points down at Stormpike, right north of Tower Point. You get that little... it's kind of like it funnels into that one area, and you get this amazing battle. And then on the road, up towards the Stormpike, their base, it's between, that long road, and then the left is like the lake and all that. You get that huge tunnel point right there, and I've had some epic like 40 versus 40. You have the whole raid versus raid right there, and you get some amazing battles right there. It's so awesome. But I understand why some of the things, why Melderon doesn't like it. I gotta say,
It has all these things, but none of them work.
Right. The execution is a different story, right? How fun it is in practice.
Horribly patched together. It's like watching someone die of like a horrible terminal disease. It's just they tried to do this, right, and they tried to make it this epic mix between PvE and PvP, and all it turns into are people trying to just get rep, to get their pre-raid bis, to get that Black Lotus in the middle, to people farm herbs in there.
I do.
Like, that is not.
I do.
You're not helping your faction.
People farm, right? Okay, that's selfish. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. I just.
I don't think. Well, maybe it is like that now, but it surely wasn't like that back in the day. So Maybe it has to
Yes.
do with people knowing more, but maybe it also has to do with the version they are putting out on those private servers.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and that's pretty important for what Blizzard said in the post, because they basically said we are getting the 1.12 version,
Right.
Yes.
and at first I was like, okay, that will be okay, I guess. But then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I'm not really sure I like that 1.12 version. And because you say it doesn't work, that only further, and yeah, that basically that means it doesn't work, probably because it's the wrong version, and the endless
Right.
battles aren't going on because it's too easy now.
That's the thing. So
Did we
do
go
whatever.
over the news though? Like, did we break it down? What it
No.
means?
No,
1.5.
So basically, let's just read it real quick.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, we're planning to use a 1.12 version of Alterac Valley. For many parts of the game like this, we're picking an original WoW patch that gives us the most clarity for WoW Classic, and 1.12 is that patch. They've already discussed that in the previous post. In Alterac Valley, that puts us before introduction of reinforcements. That's good. I mean, I don't want reinforcements in there. It puts us
obviously.
before the removal of all the commanders and lieutenants. The only win conditions are by killing Drekthar or Vander Stormpike. So
Yeah.
there's no way to win it. If you guys don't know, I think it was in TBC or maybe the pre-patch TBC, they introduced the reinforcement system, which drastically shortened the battlegrounds and
That was
also
even-
allowed you to.
Yeah, that was even later, I think.
Well, maybe,
But-
but it allowed you to win the battleground without killing the bosses.
But hold on. Reinforcements. You can't win with reinforcements faster though, right? To dwindle the other team's reinforcements down to 0 takes like forever.
It's a lot faster than the 12-hour turtles. Yeah. you
Okay,
can
then
do-
the 12-hour turtles, right? But if
Yeah,
the meta
yeah.
was still going past each other on your mounts and and storming the other people's base, and just zerging the guy.
But you could still win with the reinforcements that way. You could win if reinforcements are in place and you kill the final boss. If you didn't deplete the enemy's reinforcements, you still win if you kill the
Yeah,
boss.
but
Oh,
they're,
right,
they're
right,
not in it, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a couple changes here. One,
Yeah.
they nerfed NPCs over the course of like 3-4 patches. They nerfed the NPCs in AV by 30% overall.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Yes.
I don't know why they did that. The NPCs aren't like hard, particularly hard in AV.
Oh, dude, you know how hard those bowmen hit?
Okay, that's true. Maybe I'm used to the retail one. The retail one.
dude,
So,
yeah. Okay, so I mean, if you're not level 60 and you go into a level 60 AV, you get 2-shot by arrows. Literally 2 shots.
you're saying in the 1.12 version or in the old one?
In
You
the
can't
private
get into a
server-
level 60 AV if you're not level 60.
Yes, you can.
I thought there's only level
it's
60 AV.
51
No,
through 60.
it's 51. That's you.
Oh,
Can
it's
get, remember, you can get your
51
ice
through
barb
60, that's
spear and stuff like right.
Yeah. I thought there was a
yeah.
51 through 59 bracket. Sorry.
No, that's only retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you know if are they that strong before all the nerfs that happened over the course? It was like 1.4, 1.5, all that.
What I want to say is, Melderon and I started playing around 1.7. Dunedain's been playing vanilla WoW since like the early days. So what I'm really interested in Dunedain is when you first started playing, right? Like what is your memory of Alterac Valley? What was it like, and what does this sound? How different does this sound to the Alterac Valley that you're used to?
My Alterac Valley, when I started playing, okay, Dunedain, go. Sorry, man, I got something to say.
Yeah, basically when I started playing it, it was the very first version of Alterac Valley I played first. And the first time I played it, it was that kind of 2-day battle, and basically people were fighting for, I don't know the name anymore, Iceblood Graveyard, the one in the middle.
IBGY is
That's the one.
yeah, that is the one. Yeah, towards
Is that the
middle,
Turtle
yeah.
Fest one
So-
where if they contest that, it's fucking Turtle
Yeah,
City?
yeah, but
Yeah.
it wasn't contested at start, if I remember correctly. I think it was
It's
from
Horde,
one
I
of the
think it started.
factions.
Isn't it?
Anyway,
Yeah.
there was like a line of 30 Horde versus a line of 30 Alliance, and then others were doing different stuff. And that front line, it moved like a couple of meters. Well, not meter. Yeah, you know what I mean. It moved a couple of inches.
The
I
actual
say.
map change is what you're saying, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying the front line, the war front.
Oh, okay.
That moved like back and forward, and it did that like for 2, 3, 4 hours maybe.
Right,
And nothing else changed basically. So people were just AoE spamming each other, and I was a warrior, so I couldn't do anything but just run into the front line and die
Yeah.
every time. So that was my first experience with AV, and I had been in there for like 2 hours maybe. and didn't do anything except for dying. But later on, yeah, I kept on trying it, and it was like the entirely different experience from anything else I did before, because it's the only place where you really had those massive PvP battles, like 30 or 40 people fighting each other. And I always wished I had some kind of AoE. Like, I wish I was a mage or a warlock or a hunter or something like that.
Right.
Hunters have the good life in AV, man. Where are my hunters at, man?
They definitely do.
Cross-trapping 40 people, feels good, man.
I love backcapping as a rogue. I love it. I love it.
So as a warrior, I couldn't do anything, so I basically just went into the mines and tried to farm some gold. I had a friend who found a glitch in the mine, so you could start farming gold there pretty fast. But my memory from it, as did I like it, did I not like it? I really liked it, even though I couldn't do anything. Just because it was this very long battle, and it never ended. I may have seen like 1 or 2 end in the early.
Did you ever see the
1 or 2 end?
Yeah,
what's the boss's name that can spawn that drops the epic gear?
I've seen all those things.
You saw all that? Okay, yeah.
And I also remember each patch where AV was changed, and every time we thought, yeah, that's a good change because now it takes way too long. And after each extra change, we kind of felt the old one was better. So the last.
But you played Alliance though.
Good. Yeah, right? I played Alliance, but at that time, I mean, there was a balance issue, I guess.
Yeah.
But if the battle took 2 days, it doesn't really matter, you know.
So, just something to comment on. I get why people like it. I just want to say that first. But the thing is that I think these massive battleground fights really detracts from individual skill, because there's so much randomness involved, and these small skirmishes that these other battlegrounds provide, like WSG and AB. I believe that AV is just a cluster F, and that you can get lucky. Like Kargoz was saying about where my hunter's at. It's because you can just snipe people. You know,
Viper Sting, Viper Sting, Viper Sting, Viper Sting.
Yes, I don't think it's meant to be skillful. I think it was meant to be fun, and you don't need skill whatsoever to join AV. You just go there for the epic battle. So.
Yeah.
Real quick, got a $5 donation in the chat from Keith Smith, aka Chicken Basket, aka BDK. He only knows what that means, and a few select individuals. Thank you for the $5, man. Sorry.
I get that, Dunedain. The only thing that I would say is that if you want those epic battles, World PvP is where that comes from. I think.
Yeah, that's true. But once they introduced Battlegrounds, World PvP basically died.
Yeah, so. in a lot of aspects, and that's the thing though. Like, so. I like AV, right? I'm not gonna say I love it. My favorite battlegrounds by far are Rocky Basin. I really like AV because I feel like if I want to just grind honor and just go in there and just kind of like turn my mind off and just go in there and kill shit or do whatever, it's a good place where I can just hang out. If I want to farm some herbs, I can farm some herbs. If I want to, grind some honor, I can grind some honor. But then I've also had some really cool encounters in Alterac Valley as well. There's like these rare chances that crazy shit happens, and when it does, it's really cool. And I feel like if a lot of you guys are new, because you know how they have it on retail where you could just like exclude 3 battlegrounds, and everyone has AV excluded, everyone has Isle of Conquest excluded, and the other big one, whatever, and like. Everyone, I think, if you come from that retail mentality, it's like, oh, AV is that shitty long dungeon that nobody plays anymore. But I feel like if you put your mind into the classic mindset, the vanilla mindset, Alterac Valley can be a lot more fun than that version of it. I don't know. I just feel like I had to give it more a chance because, like I said, for so long I was so used to playing. Like ever since Eye of the Storm came out, Eye of the Storm, that was like a great battleground.
Yeah,
that is probably my all-time favorite battleground.
Is very, very good.
Yeah, and
also because there's clear mechanics. I feel that EOTS is very clear, WSG is very clear, AB is very clear.
Yeah, I remember
But
my
that's
first
why
time
it's so
doing
cool.
AV.
AV
I had
is
no idea what to do. No clue.
That's how like a war is though, dude. It's like this macro
Yeah,
war effort.
sure.
Like you don't know what is going on. You don't know where the front lines is. Like there's people who are on like the the operations going into the caves and getting supplies. There's a PvE meets PvP, and okay. I totally agree with you.
PvE means PvP, but they also tried to bring in the RTS qualities as well.
Yes, yes. So I agree with you, Melderon. Actually, in practice, AV is not as fun to me as Warsong or AB, and it's actually no contest. Like it doesn't even come close. I love Warsong personally. Most people like AB, but in concept, it's badass. Like the idea too that it's like this on. Imagine if it really went days and days, right? It really would be like the battleground, the main battleground, the front lines between the Horde and Alliance, like. The lore of it would be that, right? Because it's going on days and days, it's dragging on, and it's constantly like the factions are butting heads off in Alterac Valley.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It really is like a war effort, And
and
that's how it was.
I remember back in the day. I was gonna say a funny story. I don't know if anyone can relate with this, but I was, like a young teenager or something when I was playing back in vanilla, and my mom's or someone would call me, and I would have to go do a chore or go do something, and I would be in AV, and I took a Sharpie or something, and I put it in a fan. And the fan, I taped it in the fan, and the fan would rotate back and forth and like hit my keyboard, so I wouldn't go AFK. I don't know if you guys ever did anything like that, but I had to do that back in the day, and I just thought it just brought back memories of that, man.
Yeah, because you don't want to get booted out or whatever.
Yeah, the thing is,
oh my god,
it took like on my server, it took like an hour to join AV, because there was most of the time only one instance of AV.
Yeah, I remember the same thing, except unless it was AV week. It was a little bit easier if it was AV.
Yeah, but there were no weekends when it's.
Oh right, when you were doing it, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and then the other thing, guys, is like how good the gear is in Alterac Valley, right? Because I mean, Don Julio's band, Lay of the Light. I mean, there's just
that's what I'm saying. After you get that gear, are you gonna go back in AV?
I personally, but not.
I will never step in another AV after that.
On the AV weekends. No,
they're on
the AV weekends. But
dude, I tell like it is not going to sit here and say that it's great or I'm going to like it's a really good. I'm going to be personal. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. I do. Like one funny story though. AV was one of the first battlegrounds I ever did, and it was also the first time I saw someone type in /E. So and so report, you have been reported AFK. Hit Alt F4 to change it. I was like, oh my god, Alt F4. And I was like,
the classic meme, dude. That's funny. The classic troll. I
think we need a straw poll, Kargoz. What's our favorite battlegrounds?
All right, let's do a straw. Apparently, I'm the king of the straw polls. I did 500 straw polls yesterday. That's my new thing.
Yeah, we need AV, WSG, and
before I do the straw polls,
and throw in World PvP in there. See what people's favorite.
Well, no,
I think it's kind of unfair to
all right, fine.
AV with Warsong Gulch and AB. For me, AV is different from Warsong Gulch as it is from raiding. It's just its own kind.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
So we can do what battleground you prefer, or if you would prefer, there's no battlegrounds. I guess that would be
world.
For how long though? Like for the whole.
For all of vanilla. Maybe some people don't like it. Imagine if the rank 14 grind took place out in the open world as opposed to an instance battleground. I don't know.
I would like both, but with a different kind of currency, so you can get.
I think that's too much. I think that's too much, Dark Heroes. Maybe just put all three battlegrounds on the list.
Yeah, just put all three on the list. Yeah.
Favorite.
See what people like. I want to see how people actually prefer AV over the other two.
And are we talking about old AV?
AV, whatever in your perfect idea of what AV is.
Okay. So just a very simple straw poll. Coming hot and fresh from the king of the straw polls, dude. Here's your lovely straw poll, ladies and gentlemen.
The king of straw.
King of the straw
Something
polls.
I really liked about AV was you had so much time once you joined. You had so much time to do whatever you wanted, and there was so much to do as well. You had plenty of quests. You had so much other objectives than just AoE farm underkills. By the way, I think AoE farming underkills was pretty bad in AV. Back in the day, anyway, people thought it was really bad because you get like 1 or 2 honor for a kill. While if you kill someone in the other battlegrounds, you get a lot more. But that's probably because I didn't do any damage. So.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. So, do you feel like I know a lot of people were getting upset with this news because they're like, "Oh my God, this is ruining the whole, AV and all this." And I don't think I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that like Classic is ruined because of the version of AV they're putting out there. But I do think, I mean, there are some things that like I would have loved to still see, like the human bone chips and the gnome friggin' like all that kind of stuff. I wish they would have kept all of that. I think they went a little. I think they should have went somewhere in the middle. Honestly,
I actually think I still have some of those on my old human character.
Dude, you could fill up your bags. Like if you didn't pick and choose what you looted off a corpse, your bags would just fill up with so much shit. Like just so much random shit. Like all this armor scraps and bones and shit. It was just what is all this for?
So this is one thing I'll say about this. So, all right, the new AV. What if anyone from Blizzard gives a shit? This is what I said during the initial reaction stream. What I would say is this: Why would they? Once you close that door to the old AV, you can't reopen it again, right? So I would think if they think that the best version, the best user experience of AV would be the 1.12 version, why would they not consider rolling out with the 1.5 version or whatever the old one was called? Yeah. Seeing if people didn't like it and going like, man, this is not cool, we don't like this anymore. Then you could always move it up to the 1.12 version. Right. Because there's certain stuff like looting the bone chips and stuff like that. It's a little bit cool. Like, what's the harm in that? They removed that little troll guy who's at that one graveyard. I don't know.
So I have two things to say about it. I'm not necessarily sure that they cannot move back once they put the 1.12 version in. But that's another thing. But I think they put the 1.12 in because they feel it's the most balanced version, and that's something the new Blizzard kind of likes, balance. Okay. And maybe that's something that slipped into the classic team. But I would really rather have more fun than more balance. It's not about.
I mean, I think it's already like. Alterac Valley has already been so tainted by the fact that it's been an alliance advantage that I already have in my mind that 90% of the time I do AV, I'm probably going to lose unless I'm a pre-made. Like, I don't know, I've just, every time I go in there as a horde, I expect to lose. Mm-hmm. Does anybody else feel like that as a horde?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, almost every time. Unless I'm like in a pre-made, and I gotta admit, AV pre-mades are amazing, dude. AV pre-mades are so much fun. Everyone meets up and you go and hit bow, and it's like I've had a lot of fun doing that. Plug-in AVs can be, like just doing a regular AV. That can be a little crazy, but I don't know. Like I said, I like to just go in there, have some fun, kill some people, mine some Mountain Silver stage. Watch people try to fight over Black Lotus, and it's fun. Yeah, it's.
If you are having a battle of 2 days, does it really matter who wins?
No, it doesn't, because you gotta have so much honor anyway.
You completed all of the quests except for win AV.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the quest, I think, in the beginning.
I just feel like Alterac Valley, it embodies, to me at least, it embodies a lot of things about vanilla, right? It's a little messy, right? It doesn't really care too much about balance. Like, there's a clear advantage to one side. It's not 100% like perfect, but it has its things that are really noticeable and things I love. To me, it kind of embodies vanilla in a lot of different aspects for me, and that's why I think it's so charming in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I didn't know that many people cared about AV. So after Blizzard made that post, people were like reeing in the comments. Like people were like, "Okay, that's a deal breaker. I'm out, Blizzard. Fuck Classic." I didn't know it was that big of a deal for the people. It was a very polarizing thing, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Dude, Keith Smith, look at that. Mel and Def, love your content. Great to have Dunedain, even though he's pally. Grab lunch on me and keep pumping out the goodness, boys.
Keith Smith, man. Ever since the demo, that's Chicken Basket, man. He's been with the channel, donating, just chilling, man. Like doing so much, dude. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. We're gonna grab lunch together on you, Keith. Appreciate it,
absolutely.
Man. We'll get.
Thank you so much.
What do you guys want to eat?
I can go for some Bojangles, baby. You guys ever have Bojangles?
No, dude. Let's go Jimmy Jangles.
I don't even know what it is.
You guys...
Bojangles is down south. It's like a chicken place.
Dunedain's not gonna know what you.
Actually, you know what you guys have? Qdoba, dude. We don't have that up in California or New York. You guys have Qdoba in Philly, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Dunedain has Belgian waffles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I ate some last weekend.
Nice.
Belgian waffles and Belgian chocolate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like chocolate that much, but yeah.
You don't like chocolate?
No. I like fries, which are not French.
You're supposed to say I like vanilla.
Freedom fries?
And yeah,
You like freedom fries?
I like vanilla Coke. That's American, right?
Vanilla Coke? Oh, you best believe that's American, dude.
Good old Coca-Cola. Or Diet A&W root beer, whatever.
Where
your
are French
preference?
fries from, though? So you said they're not French? I heard that before.
Belgium. It's from Belgium.
Oh, it is from Belgium. Okay.
Yeah, 100% from Belgium.
Defcamp's like, nah, dude.
Oh,
I was just about to
root beer, you say? I never tasted it
America.
until I saw it in the supermarket at the American stand, and I was like, "Oh, I have to try that." Oh my
An
God.
American stand, dude. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that like? Just like a
Looks like a
like a
big
farmer
fat-
at like a little
chicken.
stall, and he's got like a freaking
It has-
plate
it
filled
has,
with
like,
fruit roll-ups.
root beer and-
Literally like a guy that looks like me with an American flag on his t-shirt, like selling fried chicken.
I don't know. There was all kind of weird food in it.
I got a good question for you guys though. What are your favorite things to eat while playing WoW? Like, what's your favorite like WoW snack food while you're playing?
Favorite WoW snack food? It's got to be something you can't get the keys all gross. Maybe beef
Yeah,
jerky, man.
exactly.
I like beef jerky. I like
Beef jerky is a good one.
what else?
Yeah, I like pancakes.
Pancakes. Oh,
Pancakes.
syrup. Do you syrup in pancakes though?
How? What?
No, that's an American thing, dude. And
Oh, is
Canadian
it?
thing.
Oh.
I mean, pancakes are a lot different. At least in my experience, I've only eaten pancakes in the Netherlands, but the Dutch pancakes are way different than ours.
sunflower
way
seeds, Keith. I love sunflower seeds.
Belgian pancakes, but still okay.
You
Sunflower
guys
seeds
also
would be
put
good.
like I had a bacon and cheddar pancake in the Netherlands.
like a
Yeah, we
McGriddle.
don't-
Shake.
Well, it was a giant pancake with bacon and cheese and baked inside of it.
That's more like
giant McGriddle.
English, isn't it?
I don't know. I had it in the Netherlands. I have no idea, but
But the Netherlands, they
I also have it with apples in them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Look at people's responses. Bananas, juice. Hold on. Bro, chips in a cup.
Chips in a cup.
Protein shake.
I have to say the best snack overall. I have to say it's not the okay. You might have me on that, but my best snack overall that I don't is either chips and salsa or chips and guac. It's not the cleanest thing to eat while gaming, but I
It's
just
not, dude. It's
chips
not,
and
yeah.
guac or chips and salsa. It's A1, man. Like
Mine is cookies. I love cookies while playing. Like oatmeal raisin cookies.
Defcamp
I just
loves
love
cookies.
cookies. I love
he's
cookies.
he's a
you
he's a
seriously
baked
like
goods
the-
aficionado.
If you want to come to my house and like bring me a gift, just bring me some cookies, dude. Some soft baked cookies.
Chimley's in the chat. You guys see Chimley here? Chimley's in the chat.
Chimley.
Chim chim. Chim
Do you
chimney.
seriously like the root beer?
P Smiles has great vid on AV, guys.
What did you say?
We're talking about food right now. He said,
Yeah, I
make
know.
sure you want to.
Yeah, big stream on AV. So yeah, if you guys don't know Chimley's channel, head over to Chimley's channel. He makes some excellent content, including analyzing the music of Warcraft. It's an exceptionally original concept. Very good stuff.
It is.
One of the best content creators on YouTube, hands down. Hands down.
Another reason why I like AV, though, to tie it all together, guys, 200 IQ style, is one reason why I like AV is because you can snack in AV, man. You can snack.
That's
you can hold
true.
it down at
You
the graveyard.
definitely
You'd be like,
can snack.
I'm going to plant my feet right here and hold this down. Have fun, guys. And then you can just
That's-
eat chips and
That's why
guac for
it's
the
not a
next
good
10 minutes.
battleground.
It's not enough.
Oh, God.
As a hunter, you just sit there with a flare on you, and you just go ahead and gorge yourself with chips and guac and
I
wait for the
gotta
back
say,
end.
though, if you haven't played AV as a stealth class, you really... I'm not going to say you
Isn't
really
that going
haven't...
for every battleground?
Dude, no. Stealth classes are so important in Alterac Valley, man. I mean, yeah, it is awesome, like solo capturing the farm in Arathi Basin, but like so what we used to do a lot on our pre-mades back in vanilla, like, I play rogue in vanilla, so we would have a group of stealthers. So okay, you four rogues go to back to Tower Point and recap it. So we would all stealth back up to Tower Point. There'd be like two paladins and like a hunter sitting there, and we just open up on them like four fucking assassins, kill them, and then retake the fucking tower, dude. Playing AV and recapping towers as a rogue or a druid is so much fun.
But how frustrating it is a rogue or a
Straight
druid
assassin,
when you try and dedicate yourself to back cap and you walk up that long ass ramp of the tower, walking at like 50% speed, and you see like 3 people just chilling there, and you're just like
Yeah.
useless, and you're like,
Well, that's why you have to roll with other people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You can't do it alone.
you have to have a
Yeah.
squad. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
All right, so I don't know if we have.
I
if
said
there's
he's
anything-
freaking cute. Thank you, Zach. You're beautiful. Yeah.
So, so just real quick, I just want to wrap up the Alterac Valley thing. So is there anything else that anyone in the chat wants us to talk about? That is because I feel like we kind of beat to death. But is there anything else? I don't know.
mean, okay, what is your bottom line? Would you guys want old AV or new AV?
old AV.
I want old AV. I want old AV that I never.
I want whatever version I get my life fastest, so I don't have to do it again.
That's probably 1.12 AV though.
Fine. And I'm glad this is 1.12 version.
We have a diversity of opinions. It's beautiful. I would like the old AV as well, and then if it sucked, because maybe it's the type of thing where it just conceptually seems awesome, and then once you put it into practice, you're like, 3 hours later.
So let me say, I think that the idea is exceptionally interesting. I will say that. I just don't think it was executed properly.
You know, haters.
That's all. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Oh, let me check this straw poll, by the way, dude. Let me see. I gotta vote on it.
Again, I will say that AV, for me, really encapsulates the things that I love about Vanilla WoW. And I know you guys, I really appreciate that you guys have opinions on it. I know Melderon, I understand the reasons why. Like, we had a long talk about this last night, and I was trying to give him all these reasons why I love it and why it's so exciting and that, and he just wasn't having it. And I was like, okay, you know, we can agree to disagree. And that's the great thing about, you know, a lot of these things. Like, there's so many things in vanilla for everyone. You know, whether you like AV, whether you like fucking just leveling or doing whatever. You like whether you like, you know, sitting there fishing and just sitting by yourself fishing at a stream for hours, right? There's so many cool things for everyone. Fucking love it.
It was pretty hardcore as well.
It was, dude. It was.
It was so hard to get into it, and once you get into it, like you say, you really didn't want to go AFK. So the first time I really played AV was when my parents were on a holiday, and I had 2 days for myself. So all I did was play AV, the same one, 2 days in a row.
Apparently, it's the most efficient way to farm honor. I always thought it was AB. I was talking to Serrana that the AB you can 5-cap or 4-cap something. Yeah.
There's so many people dying, and you're getting honor nonstop. It's like that honor clock just ticks nonstop.
It's very slow. I mean, it's very, very low amounts of honor.
It is, but I feel like there's so much going on, and that's how it becomes the quickest way to farm honor. Especially if you're doing it on like an AV weekend. And dude, if you can get into some AV pre-mids and like win like fucking 5-6 AVs, you are getting so much honor. It is insane. It's insane, dude.
Unpopular, but I don't like Battleground weekends.
Really?
You don't like BG weekends?
I love them.
Yeah, I like them too.
Well,
why is that?
I don't know. It wasn't there when I started, and when they came, I basically didn't PvP anymore. So I think it's just not nostalgia for me. I never saw those weekends in Classic WoW, so I don't know. I think when I think of those weekends, I think of Legion and Mist of Pandaria.
Yeah, you guys might be surprised with the straw poll, man. Like, I mean, AB was number one with 37 votes. Warsong at 25. It's pretty even split though. I mean, kind of like AV had a lot more than I thought.
AB has 22 votes, more than I thought. Yeah,
that's a lot more than I thought. So people do care about AV. It's
I honestly, I thought I wasn't surprised. I mean, I know for a fact, like, I mean, and not only that, dude, like, getting your AV mount is fucking, like, Frost with Howler, and, I mean, the fucking ram, the Stormpike, what's it called? Stormpike Battle Ram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stormpike Charger, no, isn't it? Stormpike
Charger, yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
They're fucking, I love that one. I mean, that wolf is, like, my favorite wolf. I love that fucking mount. I don't know, I think there's so many cool rewards, dude. I think there's so many cool things to do. It's just like, and like I said, I'm gonna say it for the last time. But for me, it really does encapsulate. I'm not gonna say it again. But
you're gonna say it again? The vanilla experience.
So, shall we move?
But we're not getting a version maybe that wasn't around though, in some point in vanilla, right? We're not getting a altered Frankenstein AV. No, but we are getting the most dumbed down version that wasn't. We're getting the most. We're getting the most efficient version. Is how I look at it.
I kind of just want the content to be as hard as possible. So, like, if they're gonna nerf the NPCs by 30%, I want them harder, man. Because thinking about all the stuff we know.
They didn't even nerf them. They removed them.
They removed some, but they also nerfed some too, though. Like, I was looking at that. They reduced damage. They reduced damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'd want that.
I want to get one shot by Bowman.
I think with the old AV, you would still have that meta where everyone just passes each other on the road and they go up. You know, another thing, guys, did you know that AV had like multiple ways up the battlefield? I don't even remember that, but apparently there was like there's like 3 paths you could go up and down on. The central path, and then there is a western one and an eastern one.
And there's side paths too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they stripped the side paths out. I don't remember what's something like that.
Platinum Wow said, "Take a shot every time Defcamp says vanilla experience to die of alcohol poisoning."
Challenge accepted.
Yeah,
Platinum. If you guys don't know Platinum Wow, head on over to his channel now. Platinum Wow's content is basically he's a vanilla Wow Nixium. That's all I can say.
He is the vanilla, and I think he is surpassing
Nixium when he's still named Shinema.
Yeah, yeah.
Platinum
so
Wow he's the young blood in the content game. He's gonna blow up.
He is and will be the Machinima face of Classic WoW.
I believe.
Well, not even just that. He's going to be someone to keep an eye on. 100%.
He's also my neighbor. Shout out Northern Californians in the chat and anyone here.
Platinum really embodies the essence of what vanilla WoW really is.
Let me subdrink.
The vanilla experience.
Take a drink, yeah. Take a shot.
Too bad he's younger than the game.
What Kargoz said, the map changed. That's true. It changed quite a bit.
Yeah. The map actually did change.
Dunedain, as an OG, do you remember back when it had 3 lanes, AV?
Yeah. That was when I went to Referred, I guess. I made Exalted after the map changed, and I was totally lost first. Basically, the middle of the map is almost the same, but
the middle was
the entrances there wasn't it was different. You could
the entrance was on the side, right? Instead of the back, it was like on the side.
Yeah.
And then it was, and what I really liked was the curve around the top of the Alliance side. People could go up on top there, and which you could still kind of do after they changed it, but there was like a whole nother split path. I don't know. It was interesting to say the least, and I really think the Alliance did have a shorter way to 100% a shorter way than the Horde did. Yeah.
But they changed so much. The map was probably one of the biggest, but also the middle graveyard. It went from, I think, first it was neutral, then it became like Horde controlled, then it was neutral again with Correct Blood Rager, something like that. It changed all the time.
Yeah. So, you guys want to move on to
professions?
The professions?
Let's talk about AV for another 6 hours.
Okay.
Maybe 2 days.
I think Melderon would shoot himself.
I just leave.
Before professions, I think it might be interesting to see if there's anything else you would like in an older version than the 1.12 version.
Ooh.
If not, we can move to professions fast.
Yeah, let's move to professions. We're ready to go. Professions.
All right, I think we should start with the gathering professions. So basically, we're going to go through all the professions, guys. Pros and cons. Kargoz just wants everyone to go to engineering.
Go engineering. Easy clap.
But I think the rest of them deserve some time to talk about. Like Dunedain, I believe that there are certain parts of the game that require our love and commitment. Maybe like he believes AV. I don't believe that, but I think that the professions, there's parts of the game we should really talk about. So,
top chat, real quick, read that, Kargoz.
Ooh, dude, donation, man. It's gonna come up. It's gonna pop up. Let the auto voice do it.
This is classic hype.
I never heard it before.
You sure about that?
The meal. Q, how interesting would it be to have a rival
Alright, so
alliance
you guys can't hear that? That voice chat? That robot?
Oh.
Okay.
Imagine the pre-made matches.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm listening to the robot.
Competing.
So Zen Kid with the $15 donation. This is for keeping classic hype, boys. Drinks with the meal. Thank you very much, sir. How interesting would it be to have a rival alliance guild form in this community? And bring it on, guys. If any of you guys are stinking, dirty, filthy alliance players, or you're more than welcome to roll on our server.
Dunedain's in the call.
Oh, everyone! I forgot.
Everyone should make a gnome rogue and camp card.
I'm gonna get ganked by so many gnome rogues come classic. I just accept my fate, man. Zen Kid, thank you very much for the donation, man. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed by gnome rogues. I'm calling it.
He definitely is. I can't wait.
You know what? They're gonna watch all your guys that you told them to have. They're gonna have all the one-off items. They're just gonna.
People are gonna clip the times that I shit on rogues and then just kill me and make it like a compilation, dude. I'm calling it.
I think what's gonna happen is we're all gonna be leveling together, right? And Kargoz is gonna be the hunter. He's gonna walk around, and we'll see these rogues just come on stealth, kill Kargoz, and then they'll leave and leave us alone, and then they'll come back and kill him again, and then just keep doing that over and over.
Oh God. Oh no, dude. I'm staying stacked with limited invulnerability potions. All that. I got a new member too, Blaine TX, dude. I haven't heard from you in a minute, dude. Thank you for being for the membership, bro. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's start with how about skinning, guys? What do you think?
I love skinning. Skinning, get it while leveling pretty much any class. If I'm leveling seriously, I'll get skinning just so I can help pay for my skills and whatever else I need to purchase. I think it doesn't really detract too much from your leveling speed. You know, so oftentimes the ticks that you spend, like 3 seconds skinning, will almost be like almost save you from having to use food. You know, it'll slow you down a little tiny bit, but then you'll get a few ticks of regen. Yeah, if you're a warrior, something like that, everything's expensive for you.
Regen kick in.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, dude. It's such a good thing to do while leveling because you make so much money. Just you know, extra money to vendor, like even if the leather isn't selling for that much in the auction house, just sell it to a vendor. It is extra money in your pocket. And I know Melderon would like to talk more about that because you made a guide specifically about that, right?
Well, not about skinning, but little tricks about making money. Right. But skinning is, I always skin either on my main or my first character in the server, especially on a fresh server. That money you're making off the skinning, if there is no economy established, you are making money ahead of the curve than anyone else.
Right.
The miners, the herbalists are going to have to sell that on the AH most likely, right?
Or use it for their
professions. I mean, skinners will have to. If you're a leather worker, you need to use your skinning too.
Right.
But I feel that skinning is always available. It's abundant. You can even skin things you didn't even kill. So that's zero effort going towards that cash you're making. And I make so much extra cash skinning, dude. It's ridiculous. It's really, really nice.
Now
there are some interesting features with skinning when you max skinning out. You have the beast, is it called, right? Oh wait, we have a huge donation.
Whoa!
Super busy with work, brother.
Oh wow, Blaine!
Holy shit, dude.
You guys are awesome.
$50 donation from Blaine, Texas, bro. That is above and beyond, my friend. Thank you very, very, very much, man. Been super busy with work, brother. Keep the hype train going. I hope we can play together come Classic, Blaine. You've been nothing but supportive to the channel ever since the demo, man. Thank you so very much for your hard-earned money, man. I really, really appreciate it, man. Wow. What a
go, baby.
Yeah, very, very nice of you.
Nice. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that, dude.
So I was saying you have those 300 and more skinning possibilities when you go and kill the beast in UBRS. You have this skinning knife, and then you can use it to skin Onyxia and get some extra
Johnny Bravo
stuff.
What? Yo, you guys need to relax, dude. $50 donate. This is the Johnny Bravo. That's the same Johnny Bravo from the demo, dude. I was telling you about him. He was donating during the demo. $50. Yeet.
Johnny Bravo, you're a beast.
Massive donation for Yeet. Yeet. Oh my god, dude. Thank you, Johnny, dude. Johnny, please, message me, guys. Blaine and Johnny, message me in Discord, man. I gotta give you guys rank and pretty much.
Yeah, you guys are legends.
I'll be your personal servant, man. Just message me.
Great cartoon as well.
Yes,
Johnny Bravo. Yeah, he also donated when I streamed the other day. Thank you so much.
Damn, what a baller, dude. And another donation in Twitch, too. Thomas Dens donating the biddies, man. Thank you very much, Thomas Dens. Dude, he's been donating the biddies, dude. I can't even keep up with the donations. Thank you, guys.
I love them.
You guys are really too kind, honestly. It's pretty humbling.
It is.
Just
it's like,
that,
you know, because sometimes it's hard to, like, imagine, that us sitting here just talking about WoW, and the amazing community that have come around us, that people support us and just love talk, like listen and hang out with us, and it's just like sometimes I just have to sit there and think about it, and it's like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing.
It really is such a privilege, right? It really is a dream come true.
It's just mind-boggling sometimes. It's just like, wow.
For each and every one of you watching this right now, you are literally making our dreams come true. The fact that we can chill here and talk about Classic WoW like the best game ever made together as a community and do what we do, I can't thank you guys enough, man. So not to get sappy or whatever, but really appreciate you guys.
No, seriously, because it's really awesome. So anyway, so anything more on skinning?
No.
I think the only thing about the skinning for me is like I will probably have it on one character, but I myself feel like there are professions out there that are more important for me, specifically to level with. Like, I want to make sure as soon as I can make True Faith, I'm going to have my priest, and I'm going to want to have Enchanting as well. So even though I could make a lot of money doing it, for me, I feel like the pool to have other professions is a little bit more for me. But I'll have to rethink that if I really want to try to make a little money. I don't know. I might rethink
You can also make a lot of money end game skinning too if you know where to farm.
If you can do Devil Swords, right? You need 290, 280, what is it, 280 skinning for Devil Swords at 60. If you're ahead of the pack, you have skinning, go right to Ungoro. That's what I would say. If any of you watch
you hunters out there that are going to be ahead of the wave on leveling, maybe a good thing for you.
And or you rogues out there who don't mind stealing.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do.
Sapping, dude, you dirty motherfucking rogues, dude. You would do that. I'm about to skin something and I get sapped and blinded and I get my leather stolen. Oh my! I'd pop a blood vessel if that happened. Holy crap! Dude,
by a gnome rogue. Can you imagine?
The Devil Swords, they're not like super easy. I mean, you can solo them as a hunter, but it takes a minute. You know what I mean? So you go through this thing, you're like in green gear, slowly chipping down this Devil Sword. Defcamp comes out of nowhere with the blind and steals your leather. Oh my god.
So shall we move to mining?
Yeah, we can go mining. But last thing I'll say about skinning is I put out a video recently, guys. You saw it probably with the wand crafting guide. I never really took this into account, that leatherworking is also a very viable way to produce greens, like disenchantable greens on the cheap. I always associated it with tailoring. You always hear about enchanting tailoring. They go together, right? Because you know, you just need the linen cloth and you're able to make the robes and then disenchant them. But leatherworking also can make the embossed leather vest, which is very cheap. All it takes is light leather scraps. There's plenty of beasts. Pretty much everything you're killing out in the open world is what? It's either a humanoid or a beast, right?
Or a beast, yeah.
So if you're killing beasts and skinning them, and you can turn the ruined leather scraps into light leather, and you funnel that over to an alt that has leatherworking, you're gonna be able to have greens that you can disenchant, and that's a lot of money on a fresh.
And in my opinion, leather is much easier to come by than cloth.
That's what you would think. That's what you would think, Melderon. We actually tested it, Navik and I, and at least at linen cloth.
Is it about the same? Yeah.
So at least it could be different in classic, but we tested it, and pretty much, when you kill an average beast, like let's say outside of Mulgore, you go down the elevator, you kill a boar, it has about a 30% chance to drop a light leather when you skin it. 70% of the time, it's going to drop a ruined leather scrap. It takes 3 ruined leather scraps.
Sorry, I mean post scraps.
Oh, post scraps.
Yeah, you got to look post scraps and post linen. Because I think linen has a really higher drop rate. I don't know.
And think about Arathi Highlands, right? Everything's a beast, pretty much. Everything is
spiders.
Ungoro Crater, like all these places that have no humanoids in them, right?
You're right.
So, dude, the potential
because the scraps that ends, right?
From that.
Yeah, that ends.
Yeah.
The
scraps ends right after you start getting light leather continuously. You get no more scraps.
Good point, man. Yeah. Very good point. Wow, I gotta actually write that down. That's actually pro.
Yeah. Okay, so mining. So mining, of course, has 2 fillers. And so we didn't mention skinning can be used for leatherworking, and leather can be used for other professions too. But so skinning primarily goes to blacksmithing and engineering. So skinning is you're able to mine nodes in the world and get ore and stone. So I think personally that I usually go with my first character on the fresh air, either mining skinning or herbalism skinning, because you can sell that stone and sell that ore. Now, I don't know the differential between. So with skinning, it's a very close differential with AH profit and vendor profit. With ore, I don't think you get nearly as much as if you would sell it on the AH.
Well, stone though.
But it depends on the server economy.
Stone sells for so much.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, guys. Do you think the play? Let's say it's fresh, right? Let's say Classic comes out tomorrow. Some stuff like leather, it's going to take so long for it to be valuable, you might as well vendor it, right? Like just getting some of the scraps and leather. But what do you guys think about like the stones and stuff? Do you just hold them, or do you try and use them immediately? Like what?
Depends. If you're like, if I'm an engineer, I'm definitely going to keep all like my stone to make like iron grenades, things like that. But if you go out there, like, so on my road, right, I would mine a shit ton. I had a whole bunch of extra stone. Say you get a couple like diamonds or rubies, that kind of shit. It sells for so much in the auction house, right? Azerothian diamonds, star rubies, the blue rubies, sapphires, things like that. And then, say you find a good mining spot, right? You make like 40 iron grenades for yourself or whatever, and then just sell the rest of the stone. You don't make it into blasting powder. Just sell the stone, and you can make a shit ton of money. Like on my rogue, I probably made 400 gold in a weekend just from straight up mining for a little bit here and there, you can make so much money, especially when you get mithril and higher. It is so much gold. No joke. So much gold.
And everybody needs engineering too, man. All those stones, like you said, dude.
And yeah, once you get to thorium, dude, it's like the chance of getting some diamonds from a thorium ore. Like I've gotten 2 diamonds from 1 thorium ore, and it's just like right there. I mean, it depending on where you are on the server life, that kind of thing. It can add up to a lot of money. And if you're a blacksmith, if you're an engineer, you're getting the mats for yourself, and whatever's extra, you sell.
Makes sense.
I think mining has also a sort of RPG element to it, and the sounds it makes when you mine is really cool.
Yeah.
And also you really have to go to the mountain sides to find the mines. They're basically not in the open most of the time. So I kind of like that aspect of mining as well.
I really also like the PvP battles you can get in while mining, and it is pretty fun to run up to somebody who, like you're mining a node, and then some friggin' asshole paladin tries to come over and, repent you, and then you whatever, do something to try to get it out of it, and then kill him. It can be really cool sometimes fighting over mine, but it does suck sometimes when, like, you pull 4 guys, and, like, you kill them all, you're on the last guy, and then here's an asshole in the same faction as you are, who just mines the node away, and you're like, really, dude?
Really, dude?
That can be very frustrating.
Yo, did something just happen? There's a couple people in the chat that were saying that no RP PvP has just been confirmed or something with Ian Hezecosis. Like, are we missing some, like, thing? Like, I don't know.
Wait, where do you see that?
Someone can tell us what you're talking about.
In the meantime, we have a new member.
There's a live Q&A.
Rudy Aris. New member.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. I'm just saying thank you for joining, Rudy Aris. Appreciate it, man.
There's a live Q&A going on with Ian Hezecosis.
Oh.
About Classic?
Probably. I don't think so.
I think it's just it looks like a regular retail Q&A.
No, it's BFA, yeah.
BFA
but maybe I mentioned it. Yeah, here, Classic and Old Design Philosophies.
Damn, dude, we get more Classic
news,
there
are roleplay servers. There will be a role-playing server option in Classic, but maybe he said there won't be
RP PvP.
Oh, no, RP PvP. Huh, interesting.
He said that confirmed?
No, I cannot. The only thing which is confirmed.
Oh, it ended. It's over. Apparently, it ended. Maybe fresh later on. So, did anybody get? So, was it mostly about BFA though?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually, when they have those kind of streams, they really try to stay away from making too much about Classic. They usually try to focus on BFA, even though everyone in the chat is like, Classic news, Classic news, Classic news.
So two things I got from the chat were no RP PvP, and I'm not saying that's not confirmed or not. I'm just saying that's something we heard, and possibly fresh later on, like fresh servers. Tim, do you have any more insight on that?
I'd like that.
Well, Doc said yes, I watched it, but he did say unless the man tells them otherwise. So what I'm guessing is he means no RP PvP servers unless the man tells them otherwise. That's what they said with some other things as well. So, guys, if you want it, if you want an RP PvP server, now's the time to demand it, because hopefully they are listening.
I was low-key wanting to play on an RP PvP server. I've been saying that. I don't think anybody else does, but yeah. I mean, it just seems like when I break down the difference between a PvP, what do you guys think, chat? Help me out. I've never played on an RP server. I've never played D&D, even though I want to. I'm thinking about playing it. But what is the difference between an RP PvP server and a PvP server? One person broke it down for me pretty nicely in the chat a couple days ago. He was saying that on an RP PvP server, people are generally a little bit more mature, generally a little bit more kind of open-minded and stuff like that. And to me, that just seemed like just a positive. I don't know.
See, I did hear though that there are some RP PvP servers where it's a little bit the opposite. Like when you see not Moonglade wasn't a PvP, where it was like a PvRP server where there are some really some things that go on. But from what I've heard, like the actual RPing that's going on is still from the minority of is a very small minority. Not a small minority, but it's usually the minority of the server that is doing the actual RPing. So for the most part, there will be just people minding their own business, having guilds, doing the content, this, that, and the other. And for actual hardcore RPing, there won't be as many people that it's not gonna be like the whole server is gonna be RPing, but I would definitely still like to try it out. I mean,
Yeah, I'd say the cons, what I would think, and tell me if I'm wrong again, guys, chat. On an RP PvP server, you're probably not going to get the creme de la creme of top PvPers. Those people are probably just going to go to a PvP server. You're probably not going to get the creme de la creme of the top rating guilds. They're probably just going to go to a PvP server because people want that brand recognition with the server, and it might be a little bit more casual and probably a smaller population, generally speaking. I would imagine.
Absolutely. I think those are all very true, and also, like you said, yeah, you may have the occasional more mature people, but I do know of some RP servers that actually attracted immature people because of the stupid shit that you can do on there, and I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, I think.
Yeah.
Look at Moonglade, obviously. RP
so
server.
They were only introduced in patch 1.8, right?
From what I know, it was. I don't know if it was 1.8, but it was definitely later.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Oh god, this guy just said, "I shall grindeth my nuts upon." I can't even read it, dude.
I shall grindeth my nuts upon thine face, foul alliance third merchant.
Oh god, you crack me up.
I love it.
That is really good, Dr. 78. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's what an RP server's like. Just like that.
Oh
man. So anyway, we'll come back to this if we get some solid news on that. We'll get back to that. But so herbs next. Herbalism.
Oibs. I love herbalism, dude.
Oibs.
Oibs. I love oibs. They're all over the place. They got flowers that smell beautiful. So herbalism for me, right? I find to be almost peaceful. Like I love picking herbs, and and for me, like even though I usually don't like like I said, on my main character, I'm gonna have Enchanting, Tailoring. I'm gonna drop Tailoring most likely, and then get Herbalism, and I'm gonna sell those herbs, right? Because rogues are always gonna need their Fade Leaf. Rogues are always gonna need their Swift Thistle. Those are two herbs that you can get at relatively low level if you're leveling Herbalism. And you're doing, Mage Royal and getting a bunch of Swift Thistle, or you're getting up to where Fade Leaf is, like, you can make a lot of gold at medium level off of those two herbs right there, right? Then once you get higher and you start doing Blindweed, you start doing Grom's Blood, you start doing Dream Foil. Like, if you're just getting herbs to make gold, you can make so much gold. And then, say you're doing DM farm, right? You're doing DM East farm. There's so much Dream Foil and Grom's Blood there. Hopefully, if it's going to be that way in Classic, that's so much money potential right there added to your already whatever per gold per hour that you're making, depending on your class.
To piggyback on that, you're saying that Herbalism will add to the bottom line on some of the gold farms, right? So, 100%. As a hunter player, what's going through my mind is this. There's not going to be DM on launch, right? It's kind of confirmed, so that sucks. That's a bummer. Having access to tribute runs is insane. That's your best bet as far as gold farming. But what's your next best bet? Probably Maradon. Yep. So if you farm Maradon without Herbalism, you're probably going to be around 55 gold an hour. If you're, that's what I would imagine. Mm-hmm. But if you have Herbalism, you can get the mushroom. What is it called? Ghost mushroom?
Ghost mushroom. So much gold, dude.
Yeah, you can get ghost mushroom.
70, 80 gold a piece, a silver, 70, 80 silver a piece, depending where the timeline is on the server.
Right. You can always hold them too.
Mm-hmm.
70 to 80 silver, he said, right? 70 to 80 silver.
Yeah, silver. I said gold at first, I mistakenly, but yeah, and then that's the thing. Like, we don't know, is Black Lotus going to be BOE from the beginning? Is it going to be BOP? But so like, if okay, so for example, Wizard Oil, right? In the timeline of WoW, Wizard Oil wasn't available in the beginning, and hopefully in Classic it won't be available in the beginning either. I'm not saying Wizard Oil, the oil they put on your weapon. That's Wizard Oil.
Wizard Oil, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, that doesn't become available later, and a lot of those mats. So like, I think Fire Bloom, like certain ones that aren't that expensive in the beginning, will become more expensive later. So if you know what they are, you can stockpile those herbs. Wait till they start kicking off, and then make a lot of gold. Like, a lot of people do that with, Essence of Water when they first start, popping off. You have a bunch of them, hold on to them, and then sell them when they become more expensive. But even besides all that shit right there, Herbalism is just, there's so many things to use herbs for, whether it's alchemy, whether it's to make enchanters, to make wizard oil. Alchemy is one of the most used professions in classical, right? Because so many people use pots or flasks or all these different things. And alchemy is what you and herbalism is what you need to make that. So right there, it's so much gold to make from herbalism.
I hope that Black Lotus will not be as common as it is on the Voldemort server.
Well, it's dynamic respawn, right?
Yeah, but I really believe that Black Lotus. Let's say there's less Black Lotus than there is now. I really believe that will be good for the raiding environment, so it gets a little bit nerfed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the only thing is, right, is like we were talking about this earlier. Do you guys want to move on to alchemy and start talking about that so we can kind of mix it in there?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so...
Or if Melderon wants to add something.
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's all together.
Okay, cool. So guys, alchemy is probably... we were talking about this earlier. Depending on if you're an enchanter who has, like, the best enchanting, recipes, you can make a lot of gold. But for the most part, most people are going to be making a lot of gold with alchemy, right? Because you can make flasks, you can make potions, you can make why is the other one drawing a blank? Flasks, potions,
transmutes.
Elixirs.
Yeah.
Thank you. And of course transmutes. Yeah. So those things right there. Not to mention, all the different free action potions, all the different limited vulnerability potions that you make, all your flasks, supreme power, all that kind of stuff. But we were talking. So if Black Lotuses are more rare, and if things are more rare because of the dynamic respawning that won't be in Classic, for what we know, will less people be using flasks? And will less people be using flasks because there won't be as many people that have that meta mentality? I can see it. So for myself as a healer, I rarely feel like I need a flask unless, like, we're going to go on a boss that we're all struggling on, say, like Cthulhu or something like that. If we're just doing Molten Core for the first time or second time, I'm not using flasks. I'm going to use some elixirs. I'll make sure I have potions. I'll make sure I have. I'll make sure I have my MP5 food, stuff like that. But I'm not going to be flasking. If anyone should be flasking, it should be probably the main tank, and the guild can help him get that. So will that make alchemy any less potentially of the best? I think it still will be the best, but do you think that will have an impact?
It will probably have an impact, but prices will go higher. So
right.
Yeah. But I was thinking flasks. We kind of assume that flasks will persist through that, right?
Can I ask a noob question?
Yeah.
So right now on Voldemort server, there's a lot of people, right? I mean, it's like,
yes.
It's died down a little bit, but let's just say it's like 7K, right, or something like that.
On a good night, yeah.
They have dynamic respawns to keep up with the increased population, right? But even that, I don't know. I feel like the world's hurting. They're like sucking the resources out of there. People are like Lotus Mafia.
Still 65 gold a pop per Lotus around.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, let's say the server cap is 2,500, but there's no dynamic respawns. What do you predict the economy will look like? Do you think it's going to be the crazy flask prices that you see on Voldemort, or?
I think it has the potential of being not as high, but close. But you got to think supply and demand, right? So if you're on a server where, say, it's one of the best servers on the US servers, right? Where all these horde guilds are clear and they're top of the line. They're all make sure they all have their consumables, things like that. So there are going to be some servers where it's going to be expensive because of supply and demand. But I still think we'll see similar prices. I don't think they'll be so drastic where you're like, oh my god, this is 500 gold cheaper than it was on Voldemort servers. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the prices might be similar, but it will be worth a lot more. I think people will have way less money to spend, so
that's true too.
It will be a lot more expensive if you look at it from that.
That's a good point. So say a flask supreme power 600 gold, right? 600 gold on Voldemort it might be more easily obtained than 600 gold on Classic, is what he's trying to say. So,
Yeah.
But that all depends on like DM farm stuff like that as well. But you know, first couple months DM won't be in there, but you know, for the most part, we'll have DM pretty soon.
You
it's not
guys
gonna
always make my
$25.
morning before I head out
you
to
wanna
a
read that?
stressful job.
Yeah.
Keep up
Whoa,
the hype.
dude, another sick donation
Wow.
from Infiction, dude. $25, man. You guys always make my morning before I head out to a stressful job. Keep up the hype. That is
wow,
so
that
nice
is
of you
awesome
to
to
say.
hear, dude. I think like hearing that, like making someone's day better, that is probably one of the best compliments that you can give. That is awesome.
It really is, bro. Honestly, it's one thing that's blown my mind too. Like, you never really think about this stuff that much, like as you're making content. But you'll have people like teachers and stuff, like school teachers, or even Dunedain school teacher. But some people will be like grading papers, listening. I never thought that would be like a thing. You know what I mean? People listening to videos, doing that. People of all walks of life from every country. It's so cool, man. I'm just happy to be alive in 2019, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hell
Man.
yeah, brother.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, and this our player base, right, is a very huge age range. So we have a lot of people from different walks of life, different parts of their career. So yeah, it's really awesome. To
Definitely.
see.
Insanely awesome community. Something I haven't seen before.
The best community, 100% the best.
But I believe alchemy is a great choice as a profession in general. As you can tell, Camp's talking about how much potential cash you can make.
Yeah.
Herbs are, available throughout the world. You can find different types of herbs. Different types of herbs grow in different kind of places.
Or in dungeons.
Or in dungeons, especially like Dire Maul when that comes out. But, so it's a great way to farm, great way to make some cash. I think it's one of the better professions for PvE, especially for PvE progression.
Yeah. Do you guys use those herb bags?
No.
There's a lot. The max one you get is 16, right?
Hey, Melderon, you might know a thing or two about bags, huh?
No, the max is 28.
I'm at 28 with the max. But the max one you can get for what is it?
Melderon, where do I get the highest level herbalism bag?
Satchel of Cenarius is available at Cenarian Hold. With you have to have Revered Rep to get the pattern, but you can buy it on the auction house.
That's right. No, the highest. So what I'm saying is the highest regular bag is 18. 18
So you get 10 more slots out of the Cenarian Satchel.
You get 10 more. Okay, so but Cenarian Satchel is how much gold?
Depends how much the people are selling on the H for.
Yeah. So I usually don't use them because what? So I usually have. So like what I'm saying, the highest bag I have is. I have 2 travel backpacks. I have 2 Halloween bags, right?
So it's 16 slot bags. They're all 16 slot bags.
Yeah, plus my backpack. So
Melderon is now the resident expert when it comes to bags. By the way, he has a
God.
1-hour dissertation on bags.
Not only does he know that, but he actually has 2 extra bags, and they are now.
You are the leading expert source on bags in World of Warcraft. I'm telling you right now, Melderon. That is now your thing now.
I love hand motions.
I suppose it's in your video, but those bags came with later patches. Do you?
That's a good question. So some of them, right? Because for example, I don't know if you can farm enough rep for Cenarian Hold prior to AQ20. I don't think you can. That's a good question, Dunedain. Yeah. But on Voldemort, as of right now, you can get the Satchel Scenario. Yeah.
Bag Daddy.
My gut tells me I think there's going to be more herbs to go around come Classic. I don't know. Even without the dynamic respawns, man, I think there's going to be more
Chimley's
herbs.
comment. Oh, it's so good. Chimley's comment. Just read it.
What do you say?
Melderon knows the way around. Melderon knows the way around the sack.
With the British wit, dude. With the British wit.
Oh, I love it. Monty Python, baby.
A reason I never pick Herbalism is because if I see that yellow dot on the map, I always have to go and farm it. So I keep on walking. I don't do any quests anymore.
Okay. See, you know what? That is, I know someone who does that as well. And whenever I'm leveling with someone named Melderon, and I'm like, oh, let's go over here, and then he'll go across the map. Won't even tell me. I'll be like, where the hell is Melderon? Here I'm getting ganked by 4 guys. He's over there mining some copper. I'm like, really, dude? It's a copper vein. You really need it
for those of you guys.
I can make gold.
For those of you guys watching right now, do you guys have that friend who refuses to let it go? Who just always will mine the herb or get the node?
That is Melderon.
That is Melderon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything
it's probably me.
He has to get it.
But here's the thing. Let me explain this for a second. So, Defcamp has a main who has over 2,000 gold. I don't have that luxury, so I have to make my way through this game and buy my mounts. So, because I don't like spending 12 hours farming a day. So
you know what though? I have helped you out, gave you gold to buy a lot of things you need, and I would much rather say, hey, let me give you 10 gold instead of going and farming 100 bags or 100 nodes.
100 bags.
Sorry.
What does that say about you though? If you get every node, I think it's a good thing. Me, I actually am the opposite. The same thing with your
It's
completion.
free money on the ground.
You're responsible.
Money.
I'd say you're responsible. You're not lazy. You're willing to take the time out to go take a few seconds
Kargoz,
to invest in your future. I have the opposite problem. I literally will not even loot corpses. I know you guys are gonna in the chat.
What?
I know that triggers people. Some people have
my
OCD.
God.
Like on Zethker,
That
when I was
triggers me.
leveling, dude.
Especially when I'm trying to leather.
So much. So Melderon will go if he's level 40 and someone killed like a level 20 bear. He will freak out because someone didn't loot it because he can't skin it. People are not skinning the mobs. It's just free money right here. Free money.
When I leveled the hunter on Zeth Voldemort, Zeth, whatever you want to call it, my bags as a hunter was just filled with arrows. I was just out there grinding, just pop, pop, pop. Wasn't even looting anything, dude, and everyone was getting triggered.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty triggering.
I don't understand why people don't.
I don't even care about the money.
Free money.
I just want to have my map cleared of those yellow dots. They have to go.
Yeah, some people.
No
OCD
flowers. Enjoy the game.
If my girl played this game, she would loot every freaking node on the map, and I would be like, "Where are you, baby? We're doing the quest," and she'd be like, "I'm back here."
That is Melderon. That is Melderon, and I will. And the worst part is,
See, there's Kilgore's comment right there. Kilgore25. Think how many world blues have just disappeared thanks to Kargoz. You never know when that mob dropped. It could be an epic. You don't
know.
know.
Staff of Jordan, dude. Could be a Staff of Jordan.
Yeah.
In fact,
Like
I know I've lost
right
multiple
there.
epics because I haven't looted stuff.
It's
a bad thing, though. You really should loot
I usually loot people, but I will, like, if I see a silver leaf and I'm farming for, say Strangle Kelp, like, I'm not going to pick up a silver leaf, okay? I'm not going to pick up that Peace Loom. I might pick up a Mage Royal because there's a chance against Swift Thistle. Well, there's always a chance against Swift
Let me ask.
So I don't know, but I'm not, no.
Let me ask Melderon something, too. What percentage of stuff, like white items, out in the open world do you actually end up selling on the auction house?
Approximately half.
That's pretty good.
White items?
White items. Approximately half
okay.
will sell for a pretty good amount on the auction house. So
But, like,
another half I vendor Kargoz.
You do vendor
too.
Okay.
He will not let his bags get full because he knows that he's losing gold. So if we get to a point where going through a grind, we're halfway up to this quest, gotta go back to town, gotta empty my bags out. Dude, I'll hold on stuff for you. I
hit level 40 on my hunter with almost 200 gold.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. Okay, let's go to the bottom line. Do you guys have gold issues?
Absolutely not.
Always.
Absolutely not. I have gold issues.
While leveling, are you saying while leveling?
I have gold issues. I have to say, guys, I have gold issues.
Everyone has gold issues while leveling.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not while leveling.
Not
but
me.
I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to putting stuff on the auction house, and I'll farm just what I need, kinda, and then just go buy it or whatever.
Okay.
But some people are really, really good at just being very conservative with it and just stacking the gold up really high.
Perfect Stuff has that issues.
Oh man.
Yeah, so leveling, I have gold issues, right? Because I'm the kind of person who likes to learn every rank of every spell, even though I don't use them. But I don't do that much anymore. Like I will just learn rank 1 res, and if I res you and you have 1 health, you better heal yourself pretty quick and defend yourself before you get hit by a bear or something. You know what though? I tend to make sure I always have enough gold for my mount first, because I know that my mount is gold, right? So at level 40, and especially with my priest, so right now I'm buying my all crazy gear. I just bought him gloves of the Unholy Might, the epic level 37 gloves for my. His
enhancement shaman has the top
enhancement shaman
gear at every level. Basically.
Those dropped for me the other day.
Really?
They're purple gloves, right? And it gives you bonus versus fighting undead. Is that what it is?
It gives you 1% crit.
Kargoz.
No, it gives you 1% crit. It gives you 20 attack power, and then 40 attack power for fighting undead.
Those drop for me. You know where they drop for me? They drop for me in the cave with the Nagas in Herbalism.
Cave with the Nagas in Herbalism.
Yeah, there's a cave south of Feathermoon that has a bunch of Nagas.
Yes.
Dread.
Yeah, they spawn so freaking fast, dude. That's an amazing grinding spot, by the way, if anyone's watching.
Huh.
But also, the elite area in Moradin, outside of Moradin, is great too for hunters.
So at this point, you know, I'm just spending gold because I have it. But like on my priest, when I'm leveling, I'm gonna make sure I do dungeons and get gear that's gonna last me 20 levels, right? Because I'm not gonna want to spend that much gold on gear while I'm leveling. I want to save for my mount when I'm ready, because that will make me more money. A lot of people like to buy their best in slot at level 60. What are you guys laughing at?
What do you guys what?
This dude infra. Yo, I feel like Defcamp's about to drown soon. Put that webcam back up.
Dude, I've been trying. Kargoz, why did you cut off half my body?
Oh, my bad. Did I fuck it up? I'm a very bad streamer, guys. You
did it last time too. Like every time.
Well, we need honestly another thing. We gotta move on to the next freaking
Def fan.
Is
Fan camp.
Transmutation mastery and elixir mastery, is that a thing, or is it later?
I don't believe so. Not in vanilla.
Not vanilla. No.
Okay.
The only masteries are in like leatherworking, engineering,
blacksmithing.
This is kind of
blacksmithing, leatherworking.
This is kind of a super lame question, but I kind of want to ask it because Doka is inspiring me right now. Guys in the chat, if you like Harry Potter, if you even know about Harry Potter, what school would we individually be part of?
Don't put me in any of them.
Melderon's rolling his eyes, dude. I didn't take it, but that's funny.
Melderon's Dumbledore.
That's not a school. Melderon is Dumbledore. Okay, I see. I can see that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Gandalf, not fucking Dumbledore.
I think Melderon's a Gryffindor, man. I think.
You know, every time I think of Harry Potter, you guys ever so when it's like the Lord of the Rings thing, right? And they're all dressed up as the Lord of the Rings, and they walk up to those other kids like, "What are you kids playing?" They're like, "Harry Potter," like fags.
No, it's not.
No. I know, it's just South Park, but
no, it's South Park.
Yeah.
Dude, you think South Park is gonna do a new classic WoW episode?
Oh,
no.
my God.
Would that be sick or would that be sick?
So.
Make love, not Warcraft. What would they call it, dude? Make love, not Warcraft again, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Make love, not vanilla.
Make love, not classic Warcraft. Classic WoW.
Not classic craft.
That's funny, man.
Dude, that'd be epic if they did. Like, you know, it's like everyone, like, it's like the dude, like 10 years or something like that. I don't know. It would be funny though. That was like, I mean, I love South Park. South Park molded me into the person I am today.
Yes.
Probably almost as much as World of Warcraft did. Maybe not as much as WoW did, but it definitely had, especially in my younger days too, because like, I started watching South Park when it came out, and I was like 9 years old at the time. I was like as old as they were in the show. So that show really molded who I was, and that episode, I mean, oh my God, that is like one of the best episodes.
I heard that to this day it's still their most successful episode. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Yeah, I believe so.
How cool is that? That's such an awesome show. Their most successful episode.
Not retail. There you go. Yeah, that's a great.
Their most successful episode was about World of Warcraft. That blows my mind, dude. That blows my mind.
I hope South Park does a return episode. That would be amazing.
Yeah, Chris was probably right though. That right now.
I don't know what happened. I used to have the DVDs of South Park, like the original seasons and stuff, like 1 through 8 or something like that. Man.
That for Johnny Bravo says that episode is what got him in. That's awesome.
That's what got
you. I think a lot of people have similar stories. Like I know a lot of people who didn't know what WoW was until the episode of South Park came out, and they're like, "What is this game? It looks awesome," and started playing it. Yeah, I think that's awesome. But so, do you guys want to talk about Enchanting?
Okay. Yes.
Since we're talking about Harry Potter and stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Expelliarmus. So, okay, so craft a wand early. It's really, really strong. They're probably going to have 1.12 values. So, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This is how I'm interpreting it.
They were white back in the day.
They were white, but so Blizzard is kind of confirming that the however items ended up, like if they balanced them later on, changed the rarity, buffed them, nerfed them, whatever, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that end result state for the items, right? So
I don't know 100% about all of that yet, though, because
well, think about it though. Think about it. How weird would it feel if you're someone who, let's say, you haven't played WoW in a long time, you're not up to date with all this private server stuff.
Whoa.
And
Sarmatican telling us. Thank you very much, dude.
Dude, Sarmatican with the 50? Yo, thank you, Sarmatican. Again.
Oh my goodness.
I think she just donated that, or he or she donated that.
Ran out of bits, lol. See you in Classic, lads.
And Thomas with the 10? Guys. Oh my God. This is a crazy stream, guys. Thank you.
Guys, you guys are unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable. And
Sir Monican,
Wow.
thank you so much. That is amazing. That is so amazing. Thank you very, very much, man. I'll just keep trying to
damn.
keep making content for you guys. I don't know. I really, really appreciate it.
Seriously.
Holy crap. Lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the wand. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think is, because they did say that they will introduce the items that came out later in WoW, like such as the items that came out in BRD in 1.10. They will come out at the right time. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure they will have the, like you said, they probably will have the later rendition of Tier 1. They won't have, the first version of Tier 1, then the second version of Tier 1, third version of Tier 1, like there was in actual vanilla. They'll probably just have the last version of Tier 1. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
okay, what I was saying, I remember now. I remember this. So, imagine if you're new, if you're not like super familiar with Classic, right? You're playing the game, and then all of a sudden the items just change. Wouldn't that be
Right.
weird? Like they would just
Yeah,
get buffed or nerfed?
Yeah, it's literally, yeah, we're just, so like, yeah, so that I think would be, I can see them probably doing the last rendition of each, gear, of each thing. But a lot of items change, like, substantially, you know what I mean?
I think we're gonna
Like,
get the end result of those items, but I think they did
Probably,
say
yeah.
that items that come out, not get changed, but that come out later, will still come out later. They won't be
Exactly,
available.
like the BRD, like the BRD blues that come out in 1.10.
A lot of
all
stuff-
the dungeon gear set that stuff came out in 1.10.
1.10.
That stuff won't come out until 1.10 because it essentially was a catch up to allow people who were just doing dungeons to get better gear. Because like for a lot of classes, like priests, like a lot of casters, it was hard to get good shoulders for a while, that kind of thing, and then all of a sudden you run BRD and there's like really good shoulders dropping there. Still stuff like that. It makes a lot more. That would be horrible though if those shoulders were out in patch 1.
Yeah,
in
so
the
we're
very
diverting a
first
little
patch.
bit. Let's so back on Enchanting. What did you? So I personally believe that Enchanting is really not a great way to go leveling. I think once you get those really rare patterns, it can make you a lot of money. I personally don't believe it's a very good leveling.
Okay, I would disagree. Let's talk this out. This is very interesting. Now we're getting some high quality content here. So this recent video I made, I'll say right now, is the recent video on wands I made is setting you up for success to power level 2 professions, skinning and enchanting, and to do so in a very organic way. So pretty much.
Wow!
Holy crap!
TH Force Ghost.
Guys, you guys are crazy today. Would you guys all just get paid or
goodness.
something? What's going on here today, man?
It's not Friday. It's not
It's
Friday.
not Friday. What is it? Wednesday? Thursday? God.
Thursday.
$50 from THC Force Ghost, Kargoz and Panel Rocks, Long Live Class. I gotta take these guys out for some beers, man. You guys.
Oh my god!
Holy crap! Thank you, THC, dude. Longtime friend of the channel, THC. My man, dude. Thank you, bro.
That is amazing. Thank you.
Holy, what are we talking about? We're talking about what? We're talking about World of Warcraft.
Enchanting.
Classic WoW?
Yeah.
Cargoes
Classic
and
WoW?
Panel Rocks.
Yeah, so
Long live
like
classic.
you were saying that they're I think enchanting can be good while leveling. You were saying Kargoz,
Yes.
that enchanting and leatherworking.
Well, no, I think skinning and okay, this is why enchanting is good because you're leveling and you get so many greens. You get so many
Right.
quest rewards. You're running dungeons, and even when you're going to your pre-raid bis. So a lot of people will tell you you want to have enchanting on your alt because you can train all the way up to whatever, and you don't need to be a certain level in vanilla, which I kind of agree with. But imagine all the value, especially you as a completionist, Melderon, all the quest rewards you're getting that you can't get value from, all the dungeons doing. You can disenchant all the way up to 65, guys. That's a good amount of the way there, and then you're doing your pre-bis runs, and you get the DE, all that stuff. That seems.
So
Very
I'm
valuable.
not saying that the disenchanting couldn't be beneficial, but you can do that with an alt, right? Level 5 alt.
Not if you're running dungeons
Yeah.
for pre-bis. Not if you're getting blues and stuff dropping and you're running,
Yeah.
BRD.
but there's
and stuff.
also a lot of gold you can miss out on. The stuff that you would be selling to vendors.
Yeah, you have to weigh whether it's more beneficial to sell to a vendor or not. Like,
Okay.
some
That'd be
items,
more
like,
Yeah.
especially two-handed weapons, dude. I mean, you're making like sometimes 3 gold off a two-handed weapon. You won't make that off.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that's
not
a good
until
point.
you're getting like certain dust and like a lot of the essences sell for a lot, but a lot of the early dusts are just.
But how much
dirt
does it
cheap,
cost
dude.
to level enchanting after the fact? Let's talk about that. It's kind of expensive,
Pretty
right?
expensive.
It is. It can be
Pretty much
expensive.
expensive.
Yes.
So if you can
That
level enchanting organically, and then let's say that you're 200 something by the time you're 60, and you also have skinning at 300, You probably did
So,
lose out a little
exactly.
bit selling stuff, but maybe you're in a better position at that point if you have enchanting so high.
So let me talk about my issue. Why I want to do enchanting, but this is why I'm still having this. Right. So personally, I love enchanting. I love it as I love what you can do to gear. I love how you can make some gear better. It's really good while leveling. I love helping people out, saying, "Oh, I want to level up, get free enchants, this and that, the other." But for me, like, I want to be one of the premier enchanters on the server. I love the idea of me having the plus 55 healing enchant, the plus 30 spell damage enchant. I love the idea of me having these enchants, and it also makes you as a player want to get your reputation grinds up as quick as you can, so you can get all those enchants and things like that. So I feel like it also motivates the character to do the things that I know I need to do quicker and do them at a good pace. But also, you can make the most money in WoW if you have certain enchants.
The right enchants.
You can literally
Crusader.
charge 100 gold if you're the only person who has this enchant on the server. And that's not for the match. That's just for actual enchant. And if you're the only person or one of 4 people on that server who has that enchant, chances are those 3 other people might be not on at the time you are. If you're on there are going to be lines of people getting that enchant from you. You can make so much money. But if I'm not that person,
100 gold on the real classic servers.
If you are like the first one, enchant plus 55 healing, you can make at least 75 gold per enchant, at least.
Because there's no one else that anyone can get that enchant from.
No one else can get it from. Yeah, you want it, you can make it 200 gold if you wanted to. If you wanted to be a dick, but I would charge like 60, 65.
Well, one thing is, if you do enchanting while leveling, and you are able, if you unfresh, right, new server launches, and you're doing skinning enchanting while leveling, and you prioritize it, and you're D'ing everything, and you're getting the mats yourself before a lot of people, you'll likely be one of the first people with enchanting. And there's a good shot that your guild's going to give you that Crusader enchant first before people.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, it could be pretty valuable.
And Crusader is another one that you have to farm. And that's the guys outside of the Plague
Lands, right?
That's the hard farm, yeah. And there are a lot of enchants you can buy in the auction house, but the enchants that you get from Molten Core, the plus 55 healing and spell power, like all those enchants, like that is your guild's going to give that to you if you are the premier enchanter of the guild, right? So at that point, you already want to be someone who is already working on your reputations to get your because who knows, the plus 24 spell power to bracers might be available at the start instead of patch. I hope not too. But if it is, you gotta grind that argent rep and get that as soon as you can. You know what I mean? So it really forces you, if you want to be that top enchanter, to be on top of your reputations, to be on top of all those things. If you don't plan on doing that, in my eyes, then I don't think enchanting's worth it.
Well, I love enchanting. I leveled it multiple times already on different servers, and it's very unique from the others, and that's one of the reasons to do it. So, if you just like having a unique profession, just go for it.
It is very satisfying enchanting someone's gear and them being very happy and trading you something.
I love doing it. I just enchanted Melderon's two-handed whirlwind axe, plus 9 weapon damage, and like just little things like that. It is cool. It is. It
is super expensive, but I found, I guess many people did, but I found a way to make quite some money from it, even when on low level, by just giving them away for free. And you just say free enchant somewhere in Ironforge or Stormwind, and people tend to donate to you.
That's
quite
true.
a lot.
Yeah.
You probably make more than if you were to charge for a certain amount, right? For sure.
Yeah. I think I made like 50 golds before I was level 150 on enchanting, something like that, just from donations.
Yeah, it could happen. It definitely could, but for me personally, I'd rather have that like definite income from skinning or mining. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can do skinning and enchanting. That's what I do.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, I had that on my rogue. Yeah. Another really cool thing is like if you know where to farm for, say, large radiant shards, right? So I think, what is it, RFD, like 40 blues and above will drop large radiant shards. And if you're getting a blue, like say a waste piece that sells for 80 silver, you can turn that shard into 4 gold, right? So if you're level 60 or whatever, you can turn a lot of items into gold by selling shards, by selling essences. So you can make gold that way as well. It's a little bit harder, and it's a little risky because, if say you're enchanting a green item at level 60, you're hoping you get 2 essences, but you end up getting 1 piece of dust, the highest dust, which is like sells for shit. You know what I mean? So
something really random I really like about enchanting as well is that you have to use trade chat, unlike the other professions where you can use the auction house. For enchanting, you really have to make.
You have to talk to people. That's true.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So what are you guys actually gonna go on your main? What are you guys
enchanting?
thinking?
Well, enchanting most likely.
Take me through leveling and then at 60. What is it? What are you gonna do while leveling, and then what are you gonna end up doing on your main?
I will start with enchanting and skinning. And I will drop skinning at 60 and will probably go engineering. So I first need a lot of money, I guess. But that's the main plan. But I have a weak spot for blacksmithing as well. So depending on which character I make, I might still go blacksmithing, but I probably will go enchanting and skinning, and then engineering and enchanting.
Right. You said you had a soft spot for blacksmithing, right? You like blacksmithing?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you guys?
I'm probably gonna go enchanting, tailoring. I'm still like not sure about this yet, but I'm definitely gonna drop tailoring after I make true. This is really going to have it after that, and then I'm most definitely gonna get engineering as one of my, and hopefully I can get to the level of enchanting that I would like. Having the patterns and everything. And if I can do that, I'll keep enchanting. If not, I might pick up herbalism. Or something like that.
So you can make True Faith, then drop it, and still wear it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Wear it,
so that's the strat for Priest, right? So for those of you guys who don't know, Priest, what is it? It's pre-raid bis, and it's bis for like a lot for a while, right?
It is basically tier 2 equivalent. It has, I mean, it's if you want to get tier 2 8 set, then you'll drop it for that because of the 8 set bonus that gives the renew rank every time you use Greater Heal, but. I mean, you're going to be using it at least until BWL. I mean, you're going to have it for a while. I still have it on my Priest.
Wow.
So yeah.
Super worth it. That's something to really consider if you're going to play Priest, right? You got to go tailoring. You can either level it. Tailoring is not the most expensive thing to level, though. If you level it at level
especially
cap,
if you're leveling with enchanting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah. For me, it's skinning herbalism, and then drop skinning at 60 and pick up alchemy.
Okay. Skinning, pick up alchemy. No engineering for you? Are you going to drop skinning at some point, or?
You drop skinning to get alchemy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're going to stay.
So skinning and herb up until 60, and then drop skinning and pick up alchemy.
Right. And you are a healer as well, so you don't necessarily need those explosive devices.
Engineering is good for PvP. It's good for PvP and good for PvE DPS. I don't really think it's needed in healing at all. So there are some little wonky things you could do, but I mean, if you're a PvPer, if you want to do any PvP in any kind of highly strategic or competitive category, you have to pick up engineering.
It makes sense. Yeah. Healer is unique in that way. So even tanks, though, like I've been working on this tank guide,
tanks
right?
As well.
Tanks need it, man. Like it's really awesome AOE threat to have the engineering items. Super.
Yeah, your engineering items are added to your own threats, added to your threat table. So the damage they do will add it to your threat. Yeah.
Right, but healers, you have a lot more flexibility.
The engineering shield at every chance, every time you block Elementium Disc, it does damage. Oh my god, it's like so, especially for certain fights like Gar, if you're just doing all the ads, it's like needed for, if you're doing that.
That's right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never played a healer in Classic, so it's good getting that perspective. I'm in the same boat as Dunedain personally, so I play classes. The classes I'm debating between choosing, guys, as most of you know, I'm between Warlock and Hunter. I'm gonna make my mind up as we get in the days coming closer. But both those classes not super gear dependent. As a Hunter, you can be pretty lean, and I want to get full value from the stuff I'm getting out in the open world. I want to extract full value from the skins on beasts and full value from the cloth that I'm looting. So getting skinning enchanting, I think you can set yourself up with just a little bank alt. You can set yourself up so you're going to power level skinning and enchanting. I'll eventually drop skinning and pick up engineering on the Hunter. That's the game plan.
Yeah. So you're going to do a Hunter first. I mean, right?
It could be Warlock. Yeah.
I mean, Warlocks are not very gear dependent while leveling, but they are at 60.
Right. At 60. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, for some
yeah.
classes while leveling, you kind of need that vendor. Like, as Melderon was saying, you might need to vendor those two-handed weapons and stuff to get, basically
Yes,
funneling over those skins and cloth to your alt will actually hurt you on some other classes that need it. Like, maybe a warrior would need that cloth to make bandages, right? Or, but on a hunter or warlock, doesn't hurt you too much. So.
No, I don't bandage it off to my hunter at all. There's no reason to bandage. You should be bandaging a lot.
Yeah, you can bandage your pet and stuff. That's another thing too. But people.
Yeah,
I manage my pet a lot. But honestly, I like to do first aid, even if you're a healer class. 'Cause you never know when you're gonna run out of. Be in a scenario where just one tick of using a bandage could save your ass. So
also on a more practical note, if you have stacks of silk, right, and they're not selling for good in the AH, you know how to make the money off the silk, right?
Make the bandage and sell the bandage.
Bandages, bro. Bandages sell for way more to a vendor.
Yep.
I'm actually wondering if people will use many items of engineering in raids. It's quite expensive, so if money is a little bit more scarce in classic,
like dynamite and stuff like that,
yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I think it's definitely going to be worth it on like certain pools in BWL where there's a lot of AoE pools or
min-maxing guilds. I don't think the average guild will use it that much in PvE.
No, but it is nice on certain classes that don't have AoE to just add that little bit of AoE damage, you know?
True. Very true.
Yeah.
So I did not know that about the silk, actually. I feel like I've heard that before, but like right now as you're telling it to me, it's like sounds like fresh to me.
I mean, you could sell silk in the AH, sure, but if the profit margin is really low, which it definitely can get there, like really low, because silk sells, I think, 30 silver a stack to a vendor, and you'll see it sometimes with like 32 silver on the auction house, and you're like, so you just make some heavy silk bandage or silk bandages, they sell for a better profit margin.
So there should be a certain price that if you see silk valued underneath a certain amount, just buy it yourself and turn it into it, right, and vendor it.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do is literally buy it if it's like really close to the profit margin is really slim. Buy it and make bandages. Yeah.
Interesting.
And always look out for stuff because people do it, and people will do it every day, guys. If you get an add-on that you know how much the thing sells to a vendor, because people post things all the time for less than they could have sold it to a vendor for.
All the time. Yeah.
Yep.
It happens so often, it's ridiculous. So.
That's a good point. Another thing, as a quick aside, I'm going to do a guide on this eventually, or one of us will. Some of them will pick it up. But you guys remember in vanilla, you have those cloth quartermasters, right? Or whatever they're called, the cloth rep guys.
Yeah, the wool cloth quartermasters.
Donators. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought for the longest time that it would almost scale the amount of XP you get from them. No, it's like a flat amount, and I'm pretty sure that XP amount you get can actually deteriorate as you get higher and higher. It might not though. That part I'm not 100% sure on. But I used to think that you would save that up until the very last time and then turn them all in at like 59. I think I got swayed by that by watching Joanna do it. But actually, as soon as you're able to turn those in, I mean, you can plan it based on your leveling route, but save up to 60 cloth of each tier and turn them in when you need it, when you just need a little bit more or whatever it is, and just keep that in your head as you go into it, that you're going to need 60 wool cloth, 60 linen cloth, 60... No, you don't need linen. So, I guess it's not linen, but yeah.
What can how much actual XP can you get?
It's a lot. It's a lot, dude. It is a lot, bro. Honestly,
because I never did that. Honestly, I never did.
It is a lot.
And even though it gave experience, it's entirely new to me.
Oh, it gives a lot of XP, guys. It gives a really lot. And there were certain times, even when I was leveling my pally recently, where I remember distinctly I needed just like half a level to get up to the critical level to get Reckoning like viable, right? And I just went and I was like, screw it. This is really painful leveling at this low level as a pally going full ret. I'm just gonna turn in all my cloth, and I got like half a level from it, man. So yeah,
wow,
that's insane. But those NPCs were not there in the early days of vanilla, so it's not entirely sure that they will be in classic.
Oh, okay.
At start,
good call. I didn't know they were introduced later.
You gotta find out what patch they came out.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
I could see them being there at launch, though. It just seems like something.
We should tackle engineering real quick. I think we definitely should give that one.
Yeah,
definitely
a fair go.
Yeah.
So engineering will be very popular. You can. There's so many things you can do, increasing your PvP prowess, increasing your raid DPS, increasing tanking potential, solo encounters in the world that you wouldn't normally be able to do. I mean, it's endless, really.
The trinkets, guys. I mean, the trinkets alone. You have your net, you have your resistances, you have your teleportation trinkets, you have your death rays, you have, and either if you decide to go gnomish or goblin, they're both amazing. They both have amazing things they can offer. You know, being able to res people with your jumper cables, being able to do extra DPS, being able to use saber charge, being able to use iron grenades, being able to do all these things to do something that your class can't inherently do. For a lot of classes, you know, if you can't AoE, now you can AoE. If you can't stun, now you can stun. If you can't, you know, keep somebody in place or, you know, something like that by using a trap, now you can do that. If you don't have any kind of speed boost, now you can do that. If you can't mind control, now you can do that. You know, there are so many awesome items as an engineer. And if you plan on PvPing 100%, if you plan on being a PvPer that will be, you know, top of the line, if you plan on being like a top-ranked PvPer, I will say that you need engineering.
You need engineering. It's the only profession that directly impacts gameplay, like, and it's a requirement to have. So, like, I mean, if you're going to min-max, right, like, and you're going to DPS or tank, if you're in those kind of businesses, you're going to need to pick up engineering.
Yeah.
It's funny, because I had engineering originally on my career, and people always thought it was junk, and it was useless, and I'm talking about the average player back then, not the diehard min-maxers. Because everything was so expensive and most of the things seemed like junk, so I always thought it was stupid, and then I switched back to blacksmithing. But now I know better, of course. But back in the day, many people thought it was really
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of seemed like, at first to me, like one-off little items that didn't make a difference, right? But then when you saw the potential of just how having a ranged stun could be, or just how important to, you know, if you're doing a 2v1 against someone, just having that mind control helm, or even a 3v1, having that mind control helm could totally turn the tables. Or having the helm that charges and stuns them. I always forget the name of that one. The whatever, the rocket helm, and then, you know, having like rocket boots. Having
Gnomish Death Ray.
Gnomish Death Ray.
Awesome.
Oh my god! I mean, it's awesome when it gets reversal on someone as well, though. Yeah. And you're trying to gank you and they kill themselves, but having reflectors, right?
The teleporters too, man. Those teleporters.
The being able to teleport to gadgets, and, like, you know, if you're
so big
across in Eastern Kingdoms, like, I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna get? Oh, that's right. I'm an engineer, and I have my trinket that teleports me to gadgets, and here I go. Or ever look, you know, and it's just like little things like that add so much flavor, and so there are also some really cool items that go hand in hand with them, like one-off items, like, you know, if you want to get a title charm, you know, little things like that, that will also increase how good it makes engines. So if you can get a title charm and use, you know, grenades or nets and things like that, and weave them in together, you can become unstoppable.
There's a good question in chat. Which class needs engineering the least?
The least?
Healing classes.
Healing classes. Yep. There you go. There you go.
If you're healing. So when I say healing classes, if you're an enhancement shaman, it's technically a healing class, but if you're enhancement PvP, you want engineering, right? So if you're healing in raid settings, and if you're healing in a BG, you might want engineering.
Right.
Right? So basically, if you're raiding in a PvE setting, it'll affect you the least.
If you're healing in a PvE setting, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone said Druid. I can see Druid maybe because, because I don't know. Honestly, though, if like you're looking in the PvP, I think everyone can use it just as much as everyone else. Because even if you're a class that already can stun, right, or you're already a class that already can, or if you're already a class that already can mind control, usually you can't do mind control. Usually you're not, you know, there aren't any classes that really can do all those things unless you're a Shadow Priest.
PvP just literally offers so much. It's a major part of balance in Classic WoW in general. If you think about it, what does PvP give you the tools to have? You can get a gap closer with a gap closer reset with Goblin Rocket Helm. You have both Gnomish and Goblin boots, so you're literally sprinting around super fast. You have like a sprint crazy movement speed effect. Netomatic, so you can net people and like you know, potentially throw yourself to the people. You have all the reflectors, so you can reflect back critical spells, you know, in a pinch. What else? I mean, potentially the res. You know, you get the Goblin Rocket, the cables,
Death Rays, and and then those, you know, other one.
You get stealth, Goblin or Gnomish cloaking device. You get stealth.
Yeah, that's huge right there.
Huge.
And, you know, not only that, but like I said, a lot of the times, it's very helpful to me. Now, if target dummies are going to be allowed, which they absolutely should be, we often forget to talk about target dummies because they're not usually allowed on Voldemort server. A target dummy, while leveling, has saved my ass so many times. I cannot explain how useful target dummies are.
I've never heard this before, Defcamp. Please enlighten me. This sounds amazing.
Okay. So target dummy is literally like a Stoneclaw totem with like triple the health.
So does it taunt them, or how does it work? You're talking about that low-level engineering thing. Okay.
Yeah, well, you can make different target dummies as you level up, right? So, you know, you start with a pretty okay target dummy, and I think they can, like, I don't know if they have a maximum of targets that will taunt them, but I think at first it's like 2 targets, and then I don't know if it goes up from there, but I used to use it all the time, my rogue, and as a rogue, as someone who doesn't have a lot of armor, but who can do a lot of damage, I could kill the mobs before they killed my target dummy a lot of the times. It saved my ass.
Probably has more health than Stoneclaw totem.
I'm pretty sure it does have more health than Stoneclaw, especially as you get up to the higher ranks, like the advanced target dummy.
So you're saying that you could have massive threat on a target, and you're running away. Let's say you're about to die, and you can drop one, and it will...
Throw a target dummy, and they will go to it. I don't know what the numbers are, like exactly if it's threat numbers exactly, but I never had the issue of like the target dummy not working correctly.
That's crazy, man.
Target dummies are so useful.
And it's the type of thing that you can even get it while leveling, too. It's not some, like, out-of-touch
absolutely.
thing.
It's pretty easy to make. The mats aren't that hard to make. I remember I leveled, while leveling engineering, I made a bunch of them thing to make for me. So I made a ton of them, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use them. And I used them, and I couldn't believe how much they helped. And I would use them, you know, like, on really, really hard pulls, on a pull where, like, I pulled 3 guys, and there's, like, a special guy I need to kill. If I need to kill one guy, right, as a rogue, I would use the target dummy, focus that guy down, loot him, and then vanish and get the hell out of there before the target dummy died, you know? There's just so many instances on where target dummy is so useful.
With that said, though, what do you guys think about engineering while leveling, though? It's got to be a pain in the butt. You think it's possible?
I love it while leveling.
Okay, so
I love it while leveling.
How do you do it, though? It's so... You need all these abstract materials. I mean,
the mining and... Okay, so I think it's a little bit easier just because... going into fucking dead mines and getting those engineering little boxes that have all those good mats in there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, dude, you get a little bit. But honestly, for the most part, I feel like the Alliance has a little bit easier, at least in my experience.
Don't you get 15 points as a gnome? That's actually a lot, man. Thinking about it, 15 points.
Yeah, but who's gonna play as a gnome?
Right.
Yeah. But it's not that bad. I don't think as long as you're leveling your. And making items that, you know, like, there are a lot of items that require certain things, you know, like, you need, like, the springs and those things which can sell for a lot in the auction house, and they are a little hard to get. But I know there are a lot of places in Westfall where they drop, and like I said, in the dead mines for a lot of the earlier level stuff. I remember on my road, from what I can remember. But for the most part, I didn't really struggle leveling engineering that much at all on my road. It was basically at the same level that my mining was.
But were you funneling a lot of mats down from your priest or anything like that?
No. This was my rogue that I had on the last server. That was just him. It was just my rogue. He was my main.
I have to say, have you guys ever leveled on a server and one of your friends who's like your same level pulls up with the engineering goggles on and you're like level 12 and you're like just awe-inspired by how cool they look that they have an actual goggles?
And how good the stats are.
Yes, dude, those goggles, engineering goggles. I mean, it's probably a massive investment of time. I don't know. I've never done it myself ever. It's created those goggles super early.
I've never like made my engineering to like 250 or whatever. Was it 230 you need to wear them? Something like that. So I never leveled engineering really high, like power leveled it. I always leveled it with my character, and I didn't have trouble leveling with my character. It was.
You need 230 to have those goggles.
It's something like 2 something, I think.
So you need to be level 30 to be able.
Oh no, maybe it's 190 or something. It's
230 to have the baseline flying goggles.
Is it? No, I'm asking. I don't know, 30 or 190, something like that.
I'm not very, very high. Let me see. Dude.
If it's 190, you only have to be level 20.
I think it's 190. I think, yeah.
I could have sworn you could have it before level 20, man. I think I've seen people with it before 20. Like
level 100, someone says.
225. Level 100 is. Oh, there's different goggles though, guys.
Yeah, there's different goggles.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
They all look ridiculous, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really think they look cool, but that's just me.
So flying tiger goggles. Then there's the blue
Not
goggles.
just you.
Which are
Let's see
225
here.
ones, I believe, right?
Is it this shadow goggles? 120. Someone said 100.
Flying tiger goggles.
Yeah, those are for the flying
Flying tiger
goggle though. But there are other goggles that are way better.
I mean, if it only takes 100 to make it, and you get 15 skill points on a gnome, is there ever a line of play where you actually make it? Like, what
I
is
made
it?
them on my. They were my first headpiece.
4 stam, 4 spear. It's not. It's really nothing to write
Yeah.
home about. Looking at it right
No,
now, it's
it's
all right.
not,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a warrior it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so the blue ones that you can make, which we're talking about, like the
Priest.
which they give like plus healing, plus you can get ones that give plus spell damage. Plus
What armor
spell
class are
damage.
they?
Cloth.
Oh, they're cloth. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else about engineering?
Other than it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
pick it
amazing.
up if you want to do anything outside of healing in a raid. Probably it's probably might be good to have. I mean, but the thing is that's really shitty is that like, you shouldn't roll it just because everyone else is rolling it because I feel like it's just gonna be a bunch of people with engineering on a server like for no reason. I don't know.
I think it will be alright.
Yeah,
It's never been the most popular.
yeah. We need blacksmiths. We need leather workers. We need
Yeah.
tailors. We
It's
need
true.
all that stuff.
It's true.
I think there's going to be plenty of there's going to be plenty of alchemists. There's going to be plenty of alchemists.
And honestly,
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, look at what some of the guys have been made. I mean, I think Frostodamus does a really good job of highlighting what the pros and cons of each profession are in his guides. Like, there's a lot of money to be made in certain, like, even if you're a blacksmith, you can make some cash.
Yeah.
And
You
there's
know,
weird
yeah.
trinkets
Shall we
in
go to
blacksmithing. Yeah, we can.
Oh,
we can.
dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have some stuff to say about blacksmithing.
Shield
Yeah.
spikes too. I love and weapon chains. Dude. I fucking think weapon chains are amazing.
Ooh,
But
weapon chains.
especially as a warrior.
On
a warrior-
Voldemort, weapon chains are essential. On Classic, I can't wait for Classic
my
WoW,
God,
guys.
dude.
On freaking Voldemort, any mob that can disarm you will chain disarm you and have no cooldown on disarm.
It's
They
so
just
bad.
literally disarm you
Yeah.
on cooldown, and you want to just uninstall. Like, anyway.
So I can start on blacksmithing a little bit with some random stuff, but I really love blacksmithing just because of the RP it brings, and I said it last time as well. I really like those forges. I like the sound of the blacksmithing hammer. I like to be able to craft my own armor, my own weapons, even though they suck most of it. But when I level a character with blacksmithing, I try to keep it at the same level, which is really, really hard for blacksmithing, but I kind of like seeing those blacksmithing sets on my character, and overall it's just a really cool profession. It's probably one of the most expensive, I guess, but if you're really fast with it and you're one of the first, you can make a lot of money if you have the right recipes. Talking about Lionheart's helm.
Yeah,
And,
so good.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. How much can you sell a Lionheart helm on a fresh server, man? If you get one of those, if you get one of the drops, man, it's like it's hundreds of golds, right? Hundreds,
Yeah.
not 100.
Oh, easy hundreds. Yeah,
Hundreds.
400, 500, 600, somewhere. Around.
Just to craft it, not even all
Yeah.
in, dude.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Because it's BIS for warriors for
A long time.
like multiple tiers, right?
I think 2 tiers. Yeah, two,
Yeah.
2.5. 2 tiers.
Is it-
It's 2 tiers. I think. Yeah.
I thought it was all tiers, but I'm
Oh
not
really?
sure.
It could be.
I
It could
think
be.
isn't tier 2.5 if you for prot, but yeah, I'm thinking I don't know why I was thinking. Yeah, so it might be honestly. Yeah, warriors are probably arms or fury warrior would know more about
Lionheart
that, so.
BIS for DPS forever.
Yeah.
It's BIS
Yeah,
all
yeah.
vanilla, dude. That
All
is
vanilla,
insane.
Wow.
So
Oh,
the
and
blacksmiths are needed. It's not like they're not needed.
Yeah.
It's not a
Oh,
meme
they
at all.
absolutely are,
You
yeah.
need the Lionheart helms, dude.
Also, an
Nightfall.
additional plus for blacksmithing. If you're a
Of yours.
warrior paladin, you can go hammersmithing in the Burning Crusade, and you can everyone. So that's something to keep in mind if we go to the next expansion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing about
Yeah.
blacksmithing, even in PvP, this is a long forgotten trinket. Glimmering Mithril Insignia. You guys have heard of this? No?
No.
Um,
Ring
ringing a bell?
Insignia.
It's a blacksmithing trinket that makes you immune to fear for like 30 seconds. It's a long time.
Yes,
it's a long time. So that can be very powerful, man. 30 seconds is really nothing to laugh at. That's a long time. I was talking
to somebody about that the other day who, if you play Orc Warlock, he said, you need that. So he's going blacksmithing just to have that as an Orc Warlock to fight other Warlocks and Shadow Priests. He literally, and like guys, Orc Warlock I think is like one of the hardest 1v1 opponents, especially if they have that trinket, because a Orc Warlock for a lot of their hardest 1v1s are, you know, a really good Shadow Priest, a really good Rogue, or a really good Warlock, or, which is really hard to find, an exceptionally good Hunter. For in most parts, like a really good Orc Warlock can 1v1 almost everyone. SM Ruin probably spec, but he was saying how important it is. Like if you want to be like 1v1 God, you need that trinket, and you need to be a blacksmith. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Glimmering Mithril, baby. Yeah, Egregious raises a good point though. All the professions are viable in some capacity. There's no profession that's just an absolute meme and not worth having at all. You know, no one. That's a cool thing that they somehow find a unique niche for everything. You know, and you need the leatherworking. You need to create those devil swords, man. Tailoring. You need that True Faith vestments. Enchanting,
they did
obviously.
Very well in Classic, and they did well in the Burning Crusade. But later than that, professions kind of got boring and gimped and nerfed in all kind of ways. So I really like those those classic professions.
John says fishing is a meme. Fishing actually isn't a meme. That's another really cool thing. I kind of thought fishing was a meme for a long time, John. Fishing. To get the best in slot consumables, like food buffs, you need the fishing materials. At least for Hunter. I can't speak on other classes so much, John. But
knife and soup.
For knife and soup, dude. Yeah.
The squid, whatever it's called, I think it's grilled squid, right? Grilled squid. You need the winter squid. There's no way around it. And how do you get winter squid? With the pole in the water, man. That's it.
In winter, yeah.
In winter, yeah. If you hold on to the winter stuff for the summertime, you can make so much gold.
Yes, absolutely. Alchemy is OP when leveling. I have to say. So Melderon's probably going to be this guy. I do get jelly when I'm in a party with someone. Like let's say we're running RFC or something, and I look at them and they have like 4 potions on them. It looks so cool. It looks like they came prepared. You know what I mean? Like they have the Troll's Blood Elixir. They have all these.
Yeah, but I won't level with alchemy though. But yeah, that's a good point. I'm leveling herbalism and skinning. Yeah.
Okay. Herbalism, skinning.
Yeah, but yeah, it is nice to have all those potions at your disposal.
Dude, I love as an alchemy having like 50 mana pots at my disposal. And for me, like I always make sure I have at least one character. It's just because having mana pots or having even just like being able to make, you know, free action potions, limited vulnerability, and not have 5 on the auction house. At least have one character that's an alchemy list, because it's just so good. There's so many, like, when it comes to alchemy, like we said, every class can benefit from alchemy. Every class. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I wonder what level you can make swiftness potions. Does anybody know? I mean, is it
swiftness is not that. It's not a high, right? It's like it's kind below 100, or is it like around 100? I'm trying to think.
I'm kind of obsessed with swiftness potions, man.
The first swiftness potion.
If I had to pick one consumable, let me see. Recipe. Oh, it's a recipe. Oh,
yeah,
no.
But it's not. I think it's one of the ones you can buy, right?
Yeah, maybe drop by. No, it looks like it's
60.
dropped.
It's 60, I think. Yeah, I know it was low. It's definitely below 100, I think.
Looks like it's dropped though.
Is it a drop? But it's one of the ones that's not expensive. Pretty sure.
It's not. It is like by far my favorite. It might be my favorite consumable. Period. It is so good, guys. If you can pick up Swiftness Potion, let's say you're not super ahead of the pack and you're starting a little bit later, just buy as many Swiftness Potions, man. Like
if you're a warrior, dude, you know how much that helps.
It will save your butt like dozens of times, man, and it will. It is super good to have out in the open world. Allow you to reset. Super cheap, super good. Want to do one more? Do we have one more profession in mind?
60, may have to wrap up a little bit, actually.
Okay.
But before we do that, guys, I really want to point you on to something. So, if you don't know Classic Azeroth, he's a smaller YouTube channel. He works on Classic WoW content. He has some really original ideas. He's working on the actual how each city is built and how they can be defended during an invasion. He works on stuff like that. He also does some guide stuff, but he's writing a book. And if you've never tried to write a book before, it's a very hard undertaking. And the book's finished. He's got to pay his publishing costs. He's got to pay his cover costs, and he has to get the book printed. So he has this pretty modest Kickstarter. He's only asking for $1,200. I donated yesterday. If you guys have any extra cash, and you'll get the book if you are this right tier Kickstarter.
If
you're interested, of course you don't have to do this. But I just wanted to. If you let me see if do you guys see the link in the chat? I just put it in the chat.
Let me see.
I do not see it.
Let me see.
Okay, so let me give it to Kargoz.
You can link it to me if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in Discord. You can just maybe you can link it yourself.
Yeah.
But if you guys have some extra, if you want to get a new book, I highly recommend it. Giving him some love on it.
Yeah, he's a member of the community. He's a really awesome guy.
Yeah. But I definitely wanted to help him out.
Just
he has a very
like
small channel, so I didn't, just try to help him out as much as we can.
I just love stuff like this, like people, in the community trying to do something on their own, and it's just like really that people could, I mean, writing your own book, that's awesome. I know Melderon's writing a book as well. He's been writing one for a long time.
Oh, it's been taking it's on the table right now, but it's going to take years. But maybe in those years when it gets done, I'll hit you guys up maybe for the same help. But
Dude,
can you link
it?
It's not working. It says error. But if you do want to support him, he is a Classic WoW content creator. You've probably seen some of his videos. He's a very nice guy. He's
his channel's called Classic Azeroth, and in his most recent video, he did a video on why the meeting stones did not work in vanilla and why they shouldn't work in vanilla. In the description of that video is the link to his Kickstarter.
Yeah, so I can't link the chat for some reason. It says error every time I try and link it. But if you are interested in his book, it's over on Kickstarter. You can search up Chord of Bew, a fictional thriller by T.J. Marcus. Yeah, good call, Melderon. Yeah, gotta help the fam out.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to wrap up now? Is it we donezo for the day?
Yeah, we're gonna sit up for dinner, and guys, I want to say again though, everyone who donated, we love every single one of you guys. You guys make it all worthwhile for us, and make this literally a dream come true for us. So thank you guys, every single one of you, everyone who just came here today and listened to us talk about Classic WoW for like 2 hours. Thank you. We love you. We love you.
I want to add to that, not only the listener, I would like to thank, but also you guys for bringing me into the show as a very small YouTuber.
Hey, it was your idea, brother.
It was your idea, Dunedain. Yeah, bringing us all together, man.
But still, it's really nice of you. So thank you, everyone.
Of course, yeah. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We'll be back same time next week, guys. Really appreciate it. Really, it was such a great stream, man. And,
I will be streaming this weekend, guys. Defcamp streaming this weekend.
One more
donation for the road. Thank you for the $2, Kyle.
Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Yep. All right, guys. So I'll be streaming this weekend. Keep it tuned out in the Discord for that, either tomorrow or Saturday, maybe even twice this weekend. So keep your eyes open for that, guys.
Yeah, Defcamp's been killing it with the stream, man. I couldn't have said it myself. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Peace out.
See you guys.
Peace.